What's up, YouTube? This is MathWiz97 and welcome to episode number 41, the Battleground pay-per-view for my WWE 2K16 Universe mode. And before we get this thing started, as always, down in the description there will be match times, links to all the matches in this pay-per-view. And unlike King of the Ring, this is just a one-parter because King of the Ring, that was a special circumstance. This is Battleground, baby! And we're kicking things off with the Lunatic Fringe, the Warden of the Ambrose Asylum, Dean Ambrose. And of course, he's teaming up with Sami Zayn, the underdog from the underground, to take on the team of Blake and Murphy. This matchup is of great importance to Dean Ambrose. He's looking for redemption after Blake and Murphy assaulted him back at Night of Champions. And here's Sami Zayn making his way to the ring. Of course, last episode of Monday Night Raw, Sami Zayn was revealed to be Dean Ambrose's mystery partner, coming down to the ring to rescue Ambrose from a 2-on-1 assault from Blake and Murphy. And Sami Zayn, he's managed to neutralize the numbers game, the advantage that Blake and Murphy had over Dean Ambrose. But is that enough? Is that enough for these two men to come in here and defeat Blake and Murphy once and for all? Of course, like I said earlier, the match times are down in the description if for some reason you would want to skip this classic tag team matchup that's about to unfold. But if you're like me, and you're here for the road, you're here for the entire journey, well, let's get started. Sami Zayn, he's fired up. This crowd is fired up. Ole, ole, ole. Ambrose and Zayn. We'll have to see how they work together tonight as a unit. Will they be able to work as a cohesive unit and be able to take down Blake and Murphy? Because let's face it, Blake and Murphy, that's one advantage that they still maintain over Dean Ambrose and Sami Zayn. These two men, of course, are former NXT Tag Team Champions. They've been a tag team. I mean, that's how they came into this industry. They came into the WWE, into NXT, and they were able to combine their efforts to become the NXT Tag Team Champions. So they've been working together as a tag team for a long time. Ambrose and Zayn, however, I mean, this is their first night teaming as a tag team. So they're not gonna, I mean, it's possible they could have a miracle tonight and they just gel together like they've been working for years together, but since that is unlikely to be the case, you have to give the advantage to Blake and Murphy simply because, I mean, they know each other's thoughts. They've been working together as a tag team for such a long time that the chemistry is just natural at this point. And as we've seen in the past, Blake and Murphy, they have defeated numerous tag teams since arriving here on the scene, since laying out Dean Ambrose at Night of Champions. And now it appears as though that they are also backed by Seth Rollins. Or maybe it's vice versa. Maybe it's Blake and Murphy who have Seth Rollins back. Well, it doesn't matter tonight. Seth Rollins cannot get involved in this matchup, nor do I think that he wants to. He's got a match with Rusev later on. So tonight it's Blake and Murphy against Dean Ambrose and Sami Zayn. And right out of the gate, Dean Ambrose just unloading on Blake and Murphy. Blake is the legal man, but even Murphy could not escape the assaults from Dean Ambrose. Ambrose doesn't care. He just wants to beat the crap out of these two men. He wants revenge after they laid him out, after they just insulted him. They made him look, I mean, they really just embarrassed him at Night of Champions. And Ambrose tonight, he's taken that very personally, and he is looking to personally take it out on Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy. But Ambrose, of course, we've seen in the past, he did take on Blake and Murphy in a handicap match several weeks ago. And obviously that did not work out too well for him. He got laid out by Blake and Murphy. Laid out for the 1-2-3. So tonight, Ambrose, he's got Sami Zayn to work with. I'm sure that Ambrose is not going to take this all on his own. But if he had the choice, I think Ambrose is going to want to get the pinfall tonight. And hopefully that doesn't come back to cost Ambrose and Zayn. Look at this. Elbow drop right to the skull from the top rope. And Dean Ambrose, this crowd is loving it. Dean Ambrose trying to fire up the universe, fire himself up. And now perhaps could be looking to fire up Sami Zayn. There's a tag. And now the double team is on. Zayn and Ambrose, double suplex to Wesley Blake. And Sami Zayn now, it's his turn to get fired up. It's his turn to get electrified. As he's taken it to Wesley Blake, there's a suplex. And he snaps into the cover. 1, 2. No, kick out by Blake. But already, Zayn and Ambrose are inching closer to the 3 count. There's a kick right to the lower back of Wesley Blake. Standing moonsault by Sami Zayn. Zayn picking Blake up to his feet now. This is a big matchup for Sami Zayn as well. Last time he was on pay-per-view was at SummerSlam in the United States Championship Open Challenge Championship Scramble issued by Cesaro. And as we all know, Sami Zayn did not win that matchup. Well, right now, Wesley Blake, he's trying to get away from Sami Zayn. But he's caught between a rock and a hard place. He chooses Zayn over Ambrose, but that's not a good idea. I mean, at this point, it was out of the frying pan into the fire for Wesley Blake. Oh, and now Ambrose is tagged into the match. So Blake, he gets the worst end of both ends. Dean Ambrose now dragging Blake to the center of the ring. Wesley Blake punished here in the early stages of this matchup. Buddy Murphy, he really needs to get in there. Blake needs to make a tag sooner rather than later. As Ambrose trying to get up to his feet here. Wesley Blake looking to go after the arm of Ambrose with that scoop slam, dropping him right on the arm. Now an elbow drop from Wesley Blake. Sami Zayn, even before then, you want to talk about his pay-per-view record. You go back to Payback, where he took on Corey Graves. That matchup ended in a no contest. Both men were laid out. They put each other through the announce table. As right now, Buddy Murphy finally tagged into the matchup. Here we go. Drops the knees right across the shoulders of Dean Ambrose. And now, here's the cover by Murphy. 1, 2. No, kick out by Ambrose. And that's one thing Blake and Murphy are going to have to do tonight. Huge drop kick to the face. Blake and Murphy, they're going to have to utilize their tag team specialism. If that's even a word, we'll make it one. They're going to have to utilize those tag team moves to isolate, divide and conquer in this matchup tonight. And that's one thing Blake and Murphy excel at, are tag team maneuvers. We've seen some devastating moves that they've brought in since arriving here. Of course, that devastating brainbuster into the frog splash combination. We've also seen the move that laid out Ambrose at Night of Champions, almost like an assisted code breaker of sorts. So many ways Blake and Murphy possess to put an opponent away. As right now Murphy makes the tag into Wesley Blake, and it looks like they're going after the arm of Dean Ambrose. Smart strategy here from Blake and Murphy. Try to take out an arm of Dean Ambrose, cut off some of his offense. And of course, if Ambrose is going to be favoring that arm tonight, well, if he's going to be favoring that arm, that's the obvious weak point that they can exploit. And in regards to perhaps trying to protect Seth Rollins from Dean Ambrose, if they can injure Dean Ambrose tonight, really take apart that arm, Ambrose, he's not going to be able to get his hands on Seth Rollins. What a move there by Buddy Murphy. That really is going to perhaps almost dislocate the shoulder of Ambrose. There's an exploder suplex into the cover. Sami Zayn looking to come in to break it up, but Ambrose kicks out at 1. And there's the defiance from Dean Ambrose. Like I said, this is an important matchup for Dean Ambrose tonight. Oh my God, Wesley Blake. He just picked the leg of Sami Zayn and hung him up on that apron. German suplex by Buddy Murphy. Well, this is an important matchup, not just for Sami Zayn, or not just for Dean Ambrose, but for Sami Zayn as well. I've spoken about Zayn's track record on pay-per-view. He needs this win just as much as Dean Ambrose. A kick right to the back of the skull. Shining Wizard from Buddy Murphy. And now here on the outside, Wesley Blake. He's got Sami Zayn. Hangs him up on the barricade face first. Goes Zayn. But Dean Ambrose, his pay-per-view record isn't the greatest either, especially in recent memory. You take a look back to, of course, Night of Champions, King of the Ring's not exactly a pay-per-view, but it basically became one because of how long it was. But King of the Ring, he was eliminated in the quarterfinals by Cesaro. Back at Night of Champions, he lost to Seth Rollins in the steel cage, but only after Seth Rollins assaulted him beforehand. And of course at SummerSlam, with, albeit an assist from Kane as well, Seth Rollins did defeat Ambrose once again. And before then, he was out with an injury, thanks to Seth Rollins, after Rollins laid him out. Multiple curb stomps, steel chair shots, you name it. Ambrose, he's got that concussion history, as Blake kicks him right in the chest, nearly kicks his chest in. That could put Ambrose away. 2 count. No. Ambrose kicks out before the 3. And really, ever since the Shield has split, Seth Rollins has ascended to all new heights, whereas Dean Ambrose has found the lowest of lows. And of course, most of that is thanks to Seth Rollins. I mean, Seth Rollins has just destroyed this man, both physically, mentally, emotionally, on all levels. Seth Rollins has just abused Dean Ambrose. But right now, back and forth, Ambrose and Murphy, but now Murphy driving those shoulders right into the side of the head of Dean Ambrose. Here on the outside, oh, and again Zayn hung up on the barricade by Wesley Blake. And this wasn't exactly the divide and conquer strategy I was expecting from Blake and Murphy. And perhaps for Wesley Blake, it could be coming back to backfire. Sami Zayn, he's got him hooked. Half Nelson suplex. Out onto the floor. Wesley Blake face first, but meanwhile in the ring, there's a senton bomb. The cover now. 2. No, a kick out by Dean Ambrose. But that senton off the top rope, crushing the life out of Dean Ambrose, nearly kept him down for a 3 count. And Buddy Murphy, he's holding his own here. A triangle choke now on Dean Ambrose, looking to really keep him down here, try to cut off his air, cut off his wind flow. Smart strategy by Buddy Murphy. Of course, there's the one downfall of this current situation for Blake and Murphy. Oh my god, a pump handle neck breaker. Forget a downfall. This could be it. 1, 2. No, Ambrose gets the shoulder up again. But here's the thing. Right now you see Wesley Blake driven into the corner of that barricade by Sami Zayn, and Zayn lays him out. But Blake and Murphy, they are not single stars. That's the difference between them and Zayn and Ambrose. So perhaps this form of dividing and conquering, fighting separate battles, I doubt this is the smartest strategy, and you see right now Wesley Blake is suffering because of it. Zayn and Ambrose, they... Oh wait, no! Blake able to counter, so maybe I'm wrong. And right now, Buddy Murphy doing a great job at picking Dean Ambrose apart. There's another exploder suplex. The hook of the leg. 2, no! Ambrose kicks out at 1. More defiance from Ambrose. And Blake now, no, counter by Ambrose. Ambrose is back in it with that jawbreaker. Now a headbutt. There's a jab. Murphy staggers back into the corner. And Dean Ambrose. Ambrose able to mount his second wind here. A bulldog from the second rope. Dean Ambrose now. Now he's just pummeling on Buddy Murphy. And here's what I was talking about. Here was what I was expecting. Blake and Murphy, they are not singles entities yet here in this industry. They thrive on tag team offense. So splitting themselves up like this is coming back to haunt them. And it could perhaps give Ambrose and Zayn the advantage they need to win this matchup. Look at this. Texas Cloverleaf by Dean Ambrose. And Buddy Murphy, he's in trouble here. He can't reach out to those ropes. He's not quite close enough. But Murphy able to power his way out of the submission hold. Ambrose struggling to get back to his feet here. The results of the damage done by Murphy. But nonetheless, Dean Ambrose on the offensive. No, wait, counter by Murphy. Murphy now looking back for that exploder suplex. No! Elbow to the side of the head of Murphy. Ambrose now the knee to the gut. And now stomping a mud hole in Buddy Murphy here. Meanwhile, out on the outside, Sami Zayn, Blue Thunder Bomb to Wesley Blake. Blake is laid out here at ringside. There's a headbutt from Dean Ambrose. And now, Buddy Murphy dumped to the outside. Dean Ambrose taking out the trash. And Dean Ambrose now, oh, he's got that look in his eye. We've seen this before. Dean Ambrose with a full head of steam, diving to the outside to take out Buddy Murphy. Oh, and meanwhile over here at ringside, look out, Wesley Blake, Sami Zayn, full head of steam through the ropes. DDT! A DDT by Sami Zayn. The suicide dive by Dean Ambrose almost in stereo. You hear the crowd. This is awesome. Here's a replay. Ambrose taking out Buddy Murphy. And over here on the other side of the ring, Wesley Blake laid out with that DDT by Zayn. And now Zayn is back up on the apron here. Wesley Blake still laid out at ringside. And now Zayn and Ambrose. Oh my goodness, just tossing him upside down into that barricade, or into that turnbuckle. This action is so chaotic that I'm starting to get my words mixed up. Blake has managed to recover, but fortunately for him, he's on the apron right now, so he doesn't have to get involved. But if he has to get in there to break up a pin, who knows if he'll be able to do it. Zayn now the split leg moonsault. Cover here. 3, no! Murphy just able to survive. And this, you have to give credit to Buddy Murphy. His endurance right now. He's managing to keep himself alive. DDT off the top rope. And that might just do it. That might put away Buddy Murphy. Oh wait, here comes Blake, but Ambrose cuts him off. No, but unfortunately, I think Ambrose could be to blame for that one. When he took out Wesley Blake, the force just shoved. It's like Blake just shoved Murphy over there to those bottom ropes, able to force the breaks. That's an unlucky break for Ambrose and Zayn, but Sami Zayn still on the offensive nonetheless. And now the cover. 1, 2. No, Murphy kicks out again. And Wesley Blake, he's been unable to get in there to break up these pinfall attempts thanks to Dean Ambrose. But Buddy Murphy, you got to give him credit. He's hanging on. Sami Zayn now looking to go to the top rope. Buddy Murphy trying to get back up to his feet here. I don't think he knows where he is. Or maybe he does. He's trying to go for a tag, but Wesley Blake is nowhere to be found. Murphy trying to pull himself back to his feet. Sami Zayn whipping Murphy off the ropes. Looking for another Michinoku. No, counter. Kick to the back of the leg of Sami Zayn. And Buddy Murphy now sending Zayn into the corner. But Wesley Blake's not there. Buddy Murphy trying to buy time for Blake to get up on the ring apron to perhaps make a tag, but Blake couldn't get there in time. Murphy, though, a neck breaker to take Zayn back down to the canvas. This has been one hell of an opener thus far, and this is the strategy I was expecting to see Blake and Murphy use earlier on. This is the form of dividing and conquering I would have expected. Frequent tags from Blake and Murphy to try to make this matchup really control the pace, make it their style of a match. And right now, Blake the legal man, DDT to Sami Zayn. And now it's Dean Ambrose who's stuck on the apron, forced to watch as Sami Zayn gets dissected here. But Zayn, there's Zayn's resilience as he kicks at it too. Zayn trying to get back up to his feet, but he's in the wrong corner. He's in the wrong side of town. Blake makes the tag once again to Buddy Murphy. And here we go. There's an assisted neck breaker from Murphy and Blake. And Buddy Murphy, he's feeling pretty cocky right now. The cover on Zayn. 2. No, but Dean Ambrose just gets in there to break it up at the last second. Just able to save his partner. But right now, that doesn't change the fact that Buddy Murphy is in control of this matchup. Wesley Blake, he's going to have to get back over there to that corner for now. Buddy Murphy looking to place Sami Zayn up on that top rope. This is not going to be good. It's not going to be good for either one of these two men. No, but Zayn with a counter. Zayn able to save himself. High risk crossbody. Cover here. Hook of the leg. 1, 2. No, Murphy again able to kick out. And again, Wesley Blake and Dean Ambrose breaking down into a brawl over here. Sami Zayn Whipping Buddy Murphy into the corner. Are we going to see it? Sami Zayn, haluva kick. No. Blake, or I should say Murphy, blocked it. Murphy countered the haluva kick and float over DDT. What a counter, a resourceful counter there from Buddy Murphy. Oh no. Buddy Murphy, he's got Sami Zayn. Brain buster right there. And Wesley Blake, I think he just laid out Dean Ambrose here at ringside. Blake running back up onto the apron. Oh, this is not good. Ambrose is nowhere to be found. Ambrose is nowhere in sight. And Sami Zayn, for the second time, brain buster. And frog splash by Wesley Blake. Oh no, this can't be it. Blake the cover. 1, 2, 3. That is it, folks. Blake and Murphy, they have defeated Dean Ambrose and Sami Zayn tonight at Battleground. My God, what a matchup that was. What a tag team bout we just saw there moments ago. And again, I will say you have to give credit where credit's due. Buddy Murphy did a fantastic job of hanging on until he was able to make a tag to Wesley Blake. I think that's really what kept Blake and Murphy in this matchup. I mean, you see, when it was broken down into one-on-one affairs, Zayn and Ambrose controlled the match. But once Blake and Murphy were able to tag each other back in and out and keep it more of a regular tag team matchup, well, that's what happened to Dean Ambrose. Ambrose got laid out with a Tiger Bomb, so there was no way he was going to be able to get in there to save Sami Zayn. And just in case, we even saw Buddy Murphy go around to that side of the ring just to make sure if Ambrose was going to get back to his feet, that he was going to be there to cut him off. Well, Blake and Murphy, a hard-fought win tonight, and I hate to say it, but they deserve it. After that performance, they deserve the victory over Ambrose and Zayn. Unfortunately, Dean Ambrose, his redemption is still yet to come as we move on here in the Battleground pay-per-view after one hellacious opening match. Breaking news here at the Battleground pay-per-view. Paul Heyman has just removed Cesaro from the Intercontinental Championship matchup that was scheduled to take place up next. While I'm not sure why Heyman made this decision, and believe me, we will continue our attempts to contact him by the end of the night, that wasn't his only announcement. In fact, he has rescheduled Cesaro to defend his United States title in a triple threat match later on tonight. Obviously, this was not in the original plans for this evening, but again, we will try to reach Paul Heyman for a comment as soon as possible. Well, now that Cesaro has been pulled from this matchup, we will still have an Intercontinental Championship matchup, but instead of our scheduled triple threat match, we will instead have a one-on-one matchup between the former Intercontinental Champion, Titus O'Neil, and, of course, the current champ, Kevin Owens. And, like I said, we will get in touch with Paul Heyman later on in the show. We'll try to reach him for some comment on why he made this decision. And I guess one benefit out of this is that we will be getting an extra match, but this certainly was not a part of the original plans. And especially for Cesaro's sake, it's got to be incredibly frustrating. Cesaro, he had an opportunity to win back the Intercontinental Championship, but Paul Heyman has pulled him from this matchup. Of course, Cesaro being the only Raw superstar in what was supposed to be this triple threat matchup. And I'm sure for both Titus O'Neil and Kevin Owens, they're going to be pretty happy about this decision, especially the champ Kevin Owens, because now, as opposed to each individual having a 33% chance, mathematically that now is boosted to a 50% chance. And not only is that just a numbers advantage, but in terms of the champion's advantage, Kevin Owens now, if he's going to lose that title, he has to be involved in the decision. We're not going to see Cesaro pin Titus, or Titus pin Cesaro. No, Kevin Owens, he's not going to lose the title without being involved in the decision. Now, Titus O'Neil, he's going to have to defeat Kevin Owens one-on-one. And as well as that, Kevin Owens, he's got the champion's advantage of count-out and disqualification now at his disposal, which I'm sure Kevin Owens, if it comes down to it, I'm sure he will not hesitate to utilize that. But judging from what we've seen from Kevin Owens in the past, I don't know if he'll really need to. We saw how he was able to take the fight to Cesaro, and of course that's how he won the Intercontinental Championship, by defeating Cesaro one-on-one. But tonight we'll see if he has what it takes to defeat Titus O'Neil, yet another former Intercontinental Champion, and right out of the gate, Kevin Owens looking to play his mind games, ducking outside the ring. Titus though in pursuit, and Titus O'Neil bringing the fight to Kevin Owens. Well, Titus O'Neil is not going to play Kevin Owens' game tonight. Samoan drop out to the floor. And so far it looks like this strategy has backfired for Kevin Owens, as Titus O'Neil now looking to drag Owens over there to the barricade. Titus O'Neil, look at this, hangs him out to dry on that barricade. Face first goes Kevin Owens, and Titus O'Neil has clearly gained the upper advantage here in the beginning of this matchup. The early advantage, I should say. But Kevin Owens with a counter. In just that brief moment that it took Titus to get back in the ring, Kevin Owens has regained enough of his ring presence to take the advantage. As now it's Kevin Owens who goes on the offensive. Stomp right to the face of Titus O'Neil. And I'm not entirely sure, like I said, about what Paul Heyman's motives were for pulling Cesaro from this matchup. But that doesn't change the fact that there's personal animosity in this matchup. A little less now that we have Cesaro removed from the equation, but we saw in the last episode of SmackDown, when Titus O'Neil faced off against Stardust, Kevin Owens came out to the entranceway. It looked like he was going to make his way down to the ring, but instead providing a distraction that cost Titus O'Neil the matchup. Really just took Titus out of the game and allowed Stardust an opening to finish him off. So we'll see if that frustration is only going to fuel Titus to a win tonight, or if Kevin Owens coming in with the mental advantage, if that could be the game changer, the difference maker in this matchup. Kevin Owens a headbutt, backing Titus into a corner here. And now Kevin Owens up to the second rope, looking to set up that moonsault from the second rope. And Owens now into the cover. 1, 2. No, Titus O'Neil kicks out at 2. But right now, Kevin Owens, he has really gained the upper hand, and he is just now punishing Titus O'Neil. That clubbing blow right to the back. And now, referee, you gotta break this chokehold right here. That is illegal by Kevin Owens. Of course, he's got a 5 count to work with, and I'm sure Kevin Owens will... Oh, no, wait, counter by Titus. Able to block the attempted German suplex. And now Titus O'Neil has Kevin Owens up and back down for a powerbomb, stacked on his shoulders. 2. No, but only a 2 count it will remain. Kevin Owens, I'm sure he will utilize that referee's 5 count to full extent. Titus O'Neil now a powerbomb. Titus, he's not even looking to give Owens the chance to utilize the 5 count. There's a forearm to the face. And now Owens whipped off the ropes. Rebounds back into a power slam from Titus, using Kevin Owens' own momentum against him. Titus O'Neil now has it. No, wait. Kevin Owens counters. Elbows to the side of the head of the Real Deal. And here's KO. Go home driver. And the hook of the leg. 1, 2. Oh! Titus just gets the shoulder up. But already we're getting the near falls in this matchup. Kevin Owens, just about every move in his arsenal, under any other superstar, could be considered a finisher. Kevin Owens, a plethora of devastating moves in his arsenal. There's another running senton from Owens. And not just the power offense that he possesses. Kevin Owens, he's not afraid to fly off the top rope and take risks. And that's one thing that Titus O'Neil typically does not do. We have seen him fly in the past. He's dove outside the ring on multiple occasions, but he doesn't have the explosive ability of Kevin Owens. And that's really what's going to give Owens the edge in this matchup. Just the offensive diversity that Owens possesses. Wearing Titus O'Neil down with a submission hold there. There's a kick to the gut now, and a clubbing blow right to the back once more. Titus O'Neil again dropped to the mat, and Kevin Owens, there's his ego. That's one thing that could cost Kevin Owens the match, is that arrogance that he possesses. Although some may call it not arrogance, but confidence. Because he's just that damn good. Look at this. Back suplex onto the apron. Titus O'Neil, his spine landing right there on what is the hardest part of the ring. That's where this ring is constructed. The steel underneath it that keeps the ring together. And Titus O'Neil, his spine landing directly on it. Kevin Owens now tossing Titus into the corner of that announce table. Kevin Owens utilizing this environment to full effectiveness, now slamming Titus into a barricade and bouncing him skull first. And again, Titus O'Neil just thrown around at ringside here. As long as the announce table, if we can keep that out of this, I mean, I'm okay with that. All too often we see people get put through this announce table. It seems like a theme of pay-per-views. Oh, look at Kevin Owens! Kevin Owens ramming Titus O'Neil into the corner of that barricade. And I think Titus's knee might have caught the corner of the barricade. So he did a somersault there. And now rammed into the steel steps. Kevin Owens using just about everything but the kitchen sink that's out here at ringside to his advantage. There's a big boot now to the side of the head. Referee continuing his count, but Kevin Owens back inside the ring before the count of 10. And Kevin Owens now has Titus up on his shoulders. Gutbuster right there. And a running senton to follow it up. Kevin Owens now into the cover once more. 2. No, Titus gets the shoulder up. But Titus is slowly getting worn down here. You saw it didn't even have the strength to power out of that one. Just barely got his shoulder up. But Titus a counter. Titus the reversal. And a clothesline there taking down Owens. And Titus O'Neil now trying to fire himself up. Perhaps that weak kick out was just him playing possum a little bit, trying to subvert Kevin Owens' expectations. And now Titus O'Neil looking for a vertical suplex. Oh, and just look at the strength on display here from Titus. We talked about KO's power, but Titus O'Neil, he has power in spades as well. Just squatting with Kevin Owens up for that suplex. And Titus now, oh, he's going to do it again. Just look at this display of strength from Titus O'Neil. The blood rushing to the skull of Kevin Owens and another vertical suplex. That could be enough to put KO away. If he even knows where he is right now. 2. No! KO kicks out at 2. But a smart strategy by Titus. It's not just showing off. It's bringing the blood to Kevin Owens' face. And that could just be... That's what really differentiates that from a normal suplex. Because you take all the blood out of the body, put it into Kevin Owens' head, and then slam him down for a suplex. Kevin Owens now, you see he's out of it right now. And Titus O'Neil just pummeling away on Kevin Owens. Those vertical suplex really have done the damage. And Titus O'Neil now. He's got Owens backed up against the ropes. But wait, KO the counter. Titus able to hang on though, just barely able to keep himself up on that apron. And now Titus a counter. Titus up to the top rope, look out Owens. Axe handle from the top. Titus O'Neil using some high-flying offense here. And now Titus O'Neil, what's he got in store next? Power slam there to Kevin Owens. And Titus O'Neil, he knows he's in firm control of this matchup. He could just be one big move away from finishing Kevin Owens off for good. As he whips him into the corner here. Titus O'Neil looking to place Owens up on that top rope. And things are not looking too swell for the Intercontinental Champion. But he kicks Titus off. KO from the top rope. Cannonball. A cannonball from the top rope. And Owens now the cover. 1, 2. No! How close was that? Kevin Owens, he thought that was going to put Titus away, but Titus showing his resolve. But I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to stay in this matchup. Kevin Owens, a half Nelson neckbreaker. Did I say half Nelson? I meant a pump handle neckbreaker. And now the cover. No, another kick out by Titus. And you see Kevin Owens arguing with the referee. What is it going to take to keep Titus down for a 3 count. Oh my god, a half Nelson suplex. And he dropped Titus right on the top of his head. Could have broken Titus O'Neil's neck. But Kevin Owens still isn't done. To the top rope. Swanton. And the hook of the leg. Surely this is it. 2. No, another kick out by Titus. Are you kidding me? Kevin Owens has busted out just about everything in his arsenal tonight. Oh, no, wait, he's still got more tricks up his sleeve. Now a crossface. Center of the ring. Titus. Nowhere to go. Will he tap out? Or will he manage to escape here right now? Owens has got the submission hold locked in. But Titus able to roll out of it. Titus able to escape. And now, Kevin Owens whipped off the ropes. Big boot from Titus O'Neil right into the jaw of Kevin Owens. And just like that, Titus O'Neil's back in this thing. Slamming Kevin Owens' face right off the mat there. Now, KO back into the corner. And the former Intercontinental Champion, the current King of the Ring winner, he's turning it into another gear. Titus O'Neil up on the top rope. He's got Kevin Owens. Superplex from the top. That's gotta be it. Titus O'Neil hooks the leg. 1, 2, no! A 1 count. A 1 count. Are you kidding me? And now Kevin Owens, he's got straightjacket suplex. 1, 2, no, another kick out by Titus. The straightjacket German suplex, not enough. But Kevin Owens now, the kick to the gut. Oh no, oh no, he could be looking for that package pile. No, instead. Ah, there it is again, Kevin Owens. Thought he was looking for that package pile driver. But instead, turns it into that fall away powerbomb. Perhaps just toying with the fans here. We know, he knows the smarks in the audience. He knows the people who have followed him on the independents. And instead, he just chooses to toy with them rather than hit the... Oh my god, Kevin Owens! Kevin Owens, you've got to be kidding me! Kevin Owens! Flying over the top rope! A suicide dive from Owens! This is what I'm talking about, that explosiveness, that daredevil attitude that Kevin Owens brings to the table, along with his powerhouse style of offense. Kevin Owens, you look at the size of this man, you might not think, you definitely would not peg him as a high flyer, but you'd be wrong. But Titus now bringing him back into the ring. But still, how much did that take out of Titus? And you have to thank Titus O'Neil tonight. This matchup is not just about winning back the Intercontinental Championship, but it's about putting on a display for the WWE or the World Heavyweight Champion. Sending a message, see you at Survivor Series. Titus O'Neil off the backbreaker. He's got Kevin Owens. Got him up. Clash of the Titus. Clash of the Titus. And now the hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3. No! How did Kevin Owens kick out of that? I thought for sure Titus was about to win back his Intercontinental Championship, but Kevin Owens said not so fast. See, just look at this, that dive to the outside from Owens. How that didn't put Titus away, I'll never know. Gutbuster now from Titus. But how the Clash of the Titus didn't put him away, I'll never know. This could do it though. 2, 3, oh my god, are you kidding me? Titus has defeated many an opponents, not just with the Clash of the Titus, but with that Gutbuster as well. But even that wasn't enough to finish off Kevin Owens. Owens now a headbutt to Titus. Titus blocks a punch. Now Titus with one of his own. Owens blocks it now. Back and forth these two men go, trading punches back and forth. This crowd on their feet. Back and forth they go, cheering Titus and booing Kevin Owens. You know, in the past people have really come to hate Titus O'Neil, but they just hate Kevin Owens that much more. That Titus O'Neil, well, really, he's the hero we're left with now that Cesaro's been pulled from this matchup. But the question is, who's gonna win? Rolling senton from the top. Kevin Owens, the rolling senton. And now Titus O'Neil, he might just be on the verge of defeat. There's the kick to the gut, off the ropes. Kevin Owens, pop-up powerbomb, and the hook of the leg. Surely this is over. 2, 3, Kevin Owens retains the Intercontinental Championship in one hellacious match. I thought for a moment there that Titus O'Neil was gonna win back his Intercontinental title. Surely it looked like that for several moments in this matchup. I thought that Superplex was gonna do it, but it didn't. I thought the Clash of the Titus was gonna do it, but it didn't. And Kevin Owens, ultimately, this was his match. This was his night. His pay-per-view debut, and he goes out still the Intercontinental Champion. I don't know how Kevin Owens managed to survive the Clash of the Titus and then come back to hit that pop-up powerbomb. But the fact of the matter is, that's just what Kevin Owens did. And Kevin Owens is still your WWE Intercontinental Champion. Whether you like it or not, this man is still on top. Up next on the Battleground pay-per-view, it will be Rusev, the super athlete, going one-on-one with the Architect, who helped construct one of the most dominant factions in the history of the WWE, the Shield. Rusev, Rollins, they're going one-on-one, and it's coming up next here on the Battleground pay-per-view. And making his way down to the ring is the super athlete who, of course, on the last episode of Monday Night Raw, just outright destroyed Seth Rollins with a steel chair. Might have just cracked his spine, DDT out to the floor, and then finally crushed his skull with a big boot into the steel ring post. Who knows what kind of condition Seth Rollins is going to be in tonight. But one thing's for sure, he is smack dab in the middle of the sights of one pissed off Bulgarian. And Seth Rollins, that is about the last place in the world he wants to be. And this all stems back from the King of the Ring tournament, where Rusev was eliminated by Seth Rollins, given the assist of Seth Rollins' cronies, The Big Show, and the Director of Operations, Kane. Well, that's not going to happen tonight. We are sure of that. Because if anybody gets involved in this matchup, if anybody interferes on behalf of Seth Rollins or Rusev, then whichever superstar ends up winning the match will be not allowed to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship for the rest of this calendar year. So, for example, if somebody, let's say, I don't know, Dean Ambrose gets involved in the matchup to attack Seth Rollins, well then Rusev, he can't contend for that world title until at least January of next year. But on behalf of Seth Rollins as well, anybody, Kane, Big Show, Blake and Murphy, anyone gets involved and attacks Rusev in this matchup, well then Seth Rollins, he will not be allowed to contend for the world title until January. So I hope that that's enough of a stipulation to keep anyone from getting involved in this matchup, because we need a clean finish out of Seth Rollins. Granted, he did beat Dean Ambrose at Night of Champions inside of a steel cage, but he assaulted the man beforehand. I don't know. You can call it an eye for an eye, because Ambrose did the same to Seth on an episode of Raw, but is that really a clean victory? I don't know. I don't know. But the thing is, Seth Rollins, he's at this point, he's making far more enemies than he is friends. And perhaps tonight, all of his actions of the past several months are going to come back to bite him in the ass. Because Rusev, this is not a man that Seth Rollins is going to be able to just dance around. Seth Rollins, I'd say he's the underdog heading into this matchup tonight, because we've seen in the past Rusev's destructive ability, and Seth Rollins has felt it firsthand, not just on Raw, where he was decimated at the hands of a steel chair, but several weeks ago, Rusev defeated Seth Rollins in singles competition. He made him tap out to the Accolade. And Seth Rollins, he does not want to get caught in that hold again. If Rusev can lock in that Accolade, it's over. So Seth Rollins, what he's going to have to do is stay on his feet. He's got to keep a quick pace and do not allow Rusev to ground him. Do not allow Rusev to get his hands on Seth Rollins. Oh, there it is. A clothesline from Rusev, and this is about the worst place Seth Rollins wants to be. Seth Rollins, he wants to be on his feet. He can use the ropes. He can fly off the top rope. He can duck outside the ring. But if he's grounded on the mat, and there's no way he's going to be able to outpower Rusev. Well, Rusev, he's already looking to crush Seth Rollins tonight. And I'm sure for Seth Rollins tonight, this is going to be just a beatdown. Rusev, he's not just here to win the match. Rusev, he wants to punish Seth Rollins for how he cheated him out of the King of the Ring tournament. Seth Rollins tonight, he's just looking to survive. As right now, Seth Rollins, elbow right to the top of the skull of Rusev. Seth Rollins now trying to drag Rusev away from the ropes. A standing shooting star press. That's what Rollins has to do. Use his athleticism. Keep a quick-paced style of matchup to keep Rusev at bay. And now a Michinoku driver. Seth hooks the leg, but he doesn't even get a 1 count. Rusev kicks out before a 1 count. And Seth Rollins, that's another thing. He can't let his frustrations get the better of him, because that's going to give Rusev an opening, like it did right there. And now, Rusev back on the attack. Seth Rollins brought now to the center of the ring. Rusev takes him down, a huge tilt-a-whirl slam. And this is not looking good for Seth Rollins. You see, normally Rusev in the past, he's used that move to put away opponents. Tonight, though, he doesn't even think about giving a cover. All he wants to do is just beat down Seth Rollins, just like he is right now. Just driving these knees right into the ribs of Rollins. And now, fall-away slam, Seth Rollins catapulted halfway across the ring. Rusev trying to bring Rollins back up to his feet here. And now throws him into the corner. Rusev now, he's got Seth Rollins looking to set him up for Snake Eyes. And that's just what he does. Seth Rollins now whipped off the ropes. And a huge clothesline by Rusev. And just like that, Seth Rollins, he's already at a disadvantage very early on in this matchup. And there again, you hear just the war cry of Rusev. He's looking to break Rollins in half. Oh, but Rollins ducks outside the ring. Oh, but Rusev's not having this. And Seth Rollins, he's getting out of dodge. Seth Rollins taking Rusev around in a chase around the ring, but there's a knee to the skull, and that could have knocked Rusev's lights out. Seth Rollins using that speed of his to force Rusev into that wild goose chase around the ring. And now Seth Rollins has taken control. Seth Rollins, that's what he has to do. In this matchup tonight, he is at a serious disadvantage. And he's still working with some injuries, some nagging injuries from the last episode of Raw. So Rollins, now the knee to the skull. This is what he has to do. If he has to be a coward, then he'll do it. We know that's for sure. But even that wasn't enough to get a 2 count. Rusev, only a 1 count. He still kicks out. Seth Rollins now. Oh, he plants him with that reverse STO. Rusev goes face first into the mat. Rollins now rolls him over into the cover. 1, 2, 3. No, kick out by Rusev, but Rollins is getting closer. He managed to get a 2 count that time. Unfortunately for him, it's not a 3 count, so this nightmare will continue. Rusev backed into a corner. Seth Rollins lights him up with a chop. And now just hammering away with these punches to the face of Rusev. Seth Rollins now stomp and now driving that knee right into the face of Rusev. Just trying to crush that Bulgarian mush of a face of Rusev. But Rusev, though, fights him off and takes him down with a Uranagi side slam. Rusev flips him over. Seth Rollins, he's in a very tough predicament here. Center of the ring. Rusev looking to just toss him like a rag doll here with that suplex. That'll do the trick. Rusev again picking Rollins back up to his feet. Not once has Rusev even gone for a cover in this matchup. That's not of Rusev's concern right now. He just wants to beat Seth Rollins to a bloody pulp. A German suplex now. And Rusev's calling for the super kick. Seth Rollins Well, you managed to dodge the first one, but can you get out of the way of this one? I don't think Rollins knows where he's at. Super kick from Rusev. And that's it. Good night. Good night, Irene. Rusev, he knows. He knows that this match is over. And now all it takes, center of the ring, Rusev to go for that accolade. But wait, Rollins back up to his feet. No! Rollins a knee to the skull. Rollins with everything he's got left in him, able to knock Rusev off his feet. And now Seth Rollins has Rusev. Face buster. Face buster from Rollins and the hook of the leg. 1, 2. No, Rusev kicks at it too. And I think that face buster, that might have busted Rusev open. Seth Rollins, this is just the opening he needs. Now grabbing the leg. Small package driver. And the cover. 2. No, Rusev kicks out again. But Rollins, I mean, right now he's got Rusev a bloody mess. Rollins, he has to end this quickly. I mean, Rusev has already inflicted enough damage here. Rollins, he might have to take a risk to put Rusev out of this matchup. And I think he heard me. Rollins now going to the top rope. Setting him up for the Phoenix Splash, but he missed it. Rollins missed the Phoenix Splash. And Rusev now, I mean, Rollins is just a sitting duck. Belly-to-belly suplex from Rusev, and now, well, now Seth Rollins, I think he's only just infuriated Rusev that much more. There's the kick to the back, and now the accolade is cinched in. Seth Rollins center the ring, no rope break in sight. Seth Rollins, how much longer can he hang on? He's tapped out to this move once before, and he taps out again tonight. Rusev, he forces Rollins to submit. And he gets his revenge against Seth Rollins. But it didn't go without cost, of course. Rusev, you see the scars of this matchup right on his face. That busted open cut off the face buster. I mean, Seth Rollins, you gotta admit, for the hand he was dealt, he put up a hell of a fight tonight. But there's no way Rollins was at 100%. And then, if he had hit that Phoenix Splash, that probably would have been it. Unfortunately, once you miss a high-risk move like that, it's all over. Rusev, at that point, it was checkmate. So Rusev with the accolade, he gets the job done tonight. And now, I think the next thing in line for him is the World Heavyweight Championship. So Rusev, he's got his eyes on the matchup later on tonight between Randy Orton and Ryback. It's time for some more tag team action here at Battleground. But this time it is for the WWE Tag Team Championships of the World. It is the Ascension defending their gold against the team of Hideo Itami and Finn Balor. And I must say, Hideo Itami and Finn Balor have really brought the fight to the Ascension in recent memory. Several weeks back on Monday Night Raw, defeated them in a Tornado Tag Team matchup, and over the past 2 weeks, Finn Balor and Hideo Itami have scored singles victories over the Ascension yet again. So Hideo Itami and Finn Balor have the clear-cut advantage heading into this matchup. They've got the momentum on their side. But tonight, do they have what it takes to dethrone the Ascension, the team that defeated the Wyatt family back at Over the Limit for the Tag Team Gold? That was, of course, to snap the Wyatt family's record-breaking Tag Team Championship reign of 196 days. Right now, the Ascension are up to 140 days as champion, but they may have met their maker tonight in the form of Hideo Itami and Finn Balor. And I must say, Finn Balor tonight, he's looking absolutely badass. I can't deny that. I'm a sucker for that mask. That is just amazing. Finn Balor, he is perhaps channeling a bit of that demon inside him. We do know that Finn Balor does possess some inner demons that he would rather leave buried within. But tonight, perhaps, just slightly, ever so slightly tapping into those inner demons to try to give him a bit of an advantage, bit of an edge in this tag team matchup tonight. Or maybe I'm jumping to conclusions. Maybe Finn Balor just wanted to mix it up a little bit. Whatever the case is, Finn Balor, he looks completely cool, and Hideo Itami has adopted the red to match. No longer are these two men individuals. These two men are one, and that's what they have to be in order to defeat such a well-cohesive unit like the Ascension. Finn Balor, though, one thing you can guarantee out of Balor is an amazing entrance. Look at the theatrics, the poses, the lights. Everything is just on point tonight. Finn Balor, he's just gearing himself up for this matchup. This is almost like a ritual for Finn Balor. This entrance down to the ring. And Finn Balor tonight, just look at that. How can you not say that that is awesome? This is epic. Finn Balor and Itami are ready, but are the Ascension ready? Do the Ascension have enough in them to defeat Balor and Itami once and for all? Perhaps. We will find out here tonight. But here they are, Connor and Victor, your reigning, defending WWE Tag Team Champions. And you want to talk about amazing entrances. Every time the Ascension comes down to the ring and that guitar riff hits, you know that business is about to pick up. One of the most intense, one of the most dominant tag teams in recent memory. The Ascension are here, and the Ascension are ready for battle. Tonight you can see they're sporting a blood red, almost a shade of red that matches that of Itami and Balor. Will there be blood spilled in this match tonight? We are about to find out. One thing's for sure, these two teams are about to tear the house down. If you thought what Ambrose and Zayn against Blake and Murphy, if you thought that that was something great to see, we'll see. I mean, these two teams are going to have a tough task to a tough match to try to overcome. You know, they have to outdo Ambrose, Zayn, Blake, and Murphy. But that's what it goes. That comes with the territory. You're placed later on the card. You do run that risk of being outdone in an earlier matchup, but hey, that just means you have to step up your game that much more. And right out of the gate, Connor with a submission hold on Hideo Itami. But Itami able to slip himself out of it. Blocks a punch from Connor. And now Itami. Itami laying into Connor with these strikes. These rapid-fire kicks to the skull of Connor. There's a forearm now. Connor backed into the corner and right off the bat, Balor and Itami have the upper hand. Here comes Balor, a double foot stomp to the back of Connor. And already the tag team moves are getting busted out in this matchup. And that's what you got to do to win. In this style of a matchup, when you're going up against a team like the Ascension, you need to isolate, divide, and conquer. And you need to use as many tag team moves as you possibly can. As again, frequent tags in and out from Itami and Balor to start this one off. No, but wait, Connor counters a double DDT to Balor and Itami. And Connor going after Balor, even though Itami's the legal man. Well, now he takes Itami down. And Balor didn't take too kindly to that kick, as he tosses Connor into the corner, giving Itami some space. But Connor back on the attack, as he just tosses Itami by the skull, and now stomping away, stomping a mud hole in the chest of Hideo Itami. The last time we saw Itami and Balor on pay-per-view, it was the SummerSlam event, the United States Championship Scramble matchup, where at one point, Balor was interim United States Champion. Hideo Itami, he came very close as well to becoming interim US champ. But tonight, it's not about singles competition. It's about working together, combining your efforts. But right now, it is Victor and Connor who have isolated Itami. They've cut him off from Finn Balor and a fist drop from Victor. This is where the Ascension excels. They've got tag team moves out the wazoo. You can guarantee that if you get caught in their corner, you're going to have to give it just about everything you've got just to get out of the corner, just to even hope that you can have even a fraction of a chance of making a tag to your tag team partner. And at that point, it's just a handicap match. Victor now the cover. 2. No, but Itami able to kick out there. Balor trying to get involved to break it up. But now Connor dumps him to the outside. Chaos will ensue in this matchup if the referee can't keep these 4 men under control. Victor now placing Itami up on the top rope. But Itami with the elbow. Nice counter. Here we go. No! He went for the high-risk move. Victor sidestepped it, and Itami landing face first into the mat. Victor follows it up with a Northern Lights suplex. And after Itami did that face plant, I don't think he knows where he is right now. Victor tossing him back into the corner. Tag made back to Connor. Up to the second rope. Clothesline from Connor. Beautiful tag team offense there from Victor and Connor. And Hideo Itami right now, he's in dire straits, struggling to get back to his feet. Connor now, oh wait, no, pulls him back. Looked as though he was going to throw him perhaps into Balor's corner. But no, he was just toying with him and he pulled him back into that shoulder tackle. Connor again makes the tag to Victor. More tag team moves on the way. As they wrap the arms up. Oh, they turn him inside out there. Upside down into the turnbuckle. And Victor, the arrogance on display there. But hey, that comes with the territory. Here's the cover. 2. No! Itami able to kick out once more. Just think about it. When Victor and Connor debuted here, they won the tag team championships in the first month of their debut. It did not take them long at all to ascend to the top. And I guess that's why they're known as the Ascension. But Itami counters the DDT. Cover. 2. Oh, he almost had Victor right there. Countered that into a Northern Lights suplex. Victor able to kick out, but now Itami's got control. Victor has been shaken up. And here comes Itami with the clotheslines. Catches the kick. And a dragon leg sweep. Victor crashes to the canvas. And Itami is fired up now. Trying to channel his second wind. Perhaps trying to channel some inner demons of his own. Here comes Itami. The fists of fire. There was a backhand. One kick to the chest. Another one. And spinning back kick, down goes Victor. Hideo Itami, you let him hit those strikes, you're done for. And Hideo Itami right now has just turned the tables. As he's got Victor now in right where he wants him. The tag made to Balor. And now Victor's on the wrong part of town. Here's Itami with an enziguri to the back of the skull. Victor, he's going to be seeing stars for days. As Balor now stomps into the arm of Victor right at the elbow. Right at the joint. There's a kick now to the gut of Victor. A chop or maybe a backhand. Didn't quite catch what that was. But Victor staggered. Here are some shots now to the lower back of Victor as he just rebounds off the ropes. Almost like a never-ending door, a revolving door. And now Balor, the elbow, right to the face of Victor. Balor now. No, wait, Victor. Victor countered. Reverse DDT. And he takes down Finn Balor. Victor, no. Now it's a counter from Balor. He's not going to let Victor get the edge. An enziguri kick to the back of the skull. And Finn Balor, he's feeling it. Now it's time for Finn Balor to turn up the heat. Finn Balor, he's going to whip Victor off the ropes. And arm drag as he takes him down. Hideo Itami, this is valuable time to him to recover there on the over on the apron. I mean, Itami took quite a beating. So now Finn Balor, he's doing a very good job at staying on the offensive here. Victor staggered against the ropes and dumped to the floor, but he manages to land on his feet. Meanwhile, Finn Balor! Over the top rope, launching himself to take out Victor. And Finn Balor, he's maintained a dominant grasp on this matchup. As we take a look back, this is what really turned the tides for Balor and Itami. These kicks of fire from Hideo Itami. And then, of course, Balor. Just look at this. Beautiful, beautiful offensive assault from Finn Balor, putting his body on the line to take out Victor. And now Balor. He's going to whip Victor into the turnbuckle. This could be the beginning of the end for the Ascension. Kick to the gut now from Balor to the second rope. There's a sunset flip. The cover. 2. No, but it's broken up by Connor. He gets in there just at the last second to break it up. And now Connor going after Itami. Meanwhile, Victor, the elbow to the side of the head of Finn Balor. German suplex to Itami. Referee. No, wait. Oh, STO. The STO from Victor. You could call that half of the fall of man. 2. No, but Finn Balor just able to get the shoulder up at the last second. Meanwhile, the referee, get Connor out of the ring. Referee, get Connor out of the ring. Well, he finally does, but the damage has already been done. The chaos has broken out, and now it's Finn Balor. He's lost his offensive control, and oh, a clothesline to Hideo Itami. Connor has just laid out Itami. Finn Balor trapped over there in the corner. This is not looking good. As Connor now looking for a power bomb. No, wait. Balor counters into a neck breaker. Balor just able to slip out of it. But he has lost the adrenaline that had been fueling him for the past several minutes. But nonetheless, keeping up the assault on Connor. Oh, but Connor now kicks him square in the face. And there's a body shot. Connor just looking to outpower Finn Balor here. A clothesline to the back of the skull. Just striking Balor until he finally fell. And another clubbing blow right in between the shoulder blades of Finn Balor. Connor now looking to set him up perhaps for a power bomb. No, he's going for that submission hold again. The same one he applied to Itami early on in the match. Meanwhile, Victor neutralizing Itami there with that Thez press. The referee too distracted with the submission hold, and I guess that's the job he's supposed to do. If Balor would have tapped out there, then the referee, oh, he would have missed it. A flapjack now from Connor. Victor finally getting out of the ring. Connor the cover. 2. Oh, so close. But Balor survives. Connor now driving these elbows right into the shoulder blades. Or I should say right into the collarbone of Finn Balor. As Itami and Victor still battling it out on the outside. Oh! Itami going right after the arm of Victor. Though I suppose I should keep my eyes in the ring. Pinfall could happen at any moment. Connor striking away at Finn Balor. And now hip toss to Balor. Itami bringing the fight to Victor on the outside. No, there's a counter from Victor. Meanwhile, Balor just struggling to get back to his feet. Itami whipped into the barricade. But now Victor, he gets taken down with a back suplex. Now Balor, oh no wait, Balor able to counter. Connor was looking for a powerbomb, but Balor having none of that. Connor bounces out of the turnbuckle. Now Balor whips him off the other one, the opposing turnbuckle. And now, here's Finn Balor. Lifting reverse DDT. And that one could put Connor out of it. Oh, but the referee's distracted with Itami. 1, 2. Oh, Connor able to kick out. Perhaps Hideo Itami might have just cost Balor and himself this matchup. If the referee hadn't been distracted, he would have been right there to count that pin, and Connor, he might not have kicked out. Well, Balor's not worried about that right now. He's got to stay focused on finishing off Connor. Perhaps looking to make another tag into Hideo Itami. And that's just what he does. Itami off the ropes with a full head of steam. Beautiful tag team combination there. Samoan drop into a neck breaker. Beautiful stuff. And now Hideo Itami. He's sizing the big man up for that kick. No! Connor sidestepped the kick. And now Itami whipped into the corner. Now Itami's in trouble. Victor the tag. Oh no. Oh no, they're in position. Look out, Itami, for the fall of man. The fall of man, and Balor now taking off the ropes. And Victor, he knows he's got this matchup in the bag, but he should just go for the cover. There we go, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. No! Hideo Itami just kicked. He just kicked out of the fall of man. Nobody kicks out of the fall of man. Well, I suppose that's what Victor gets for taunting and wasting his time. Itami now. Oh, fires himself up for a kick to the skull. And Itami, perhaps with the last bit of energy he's got left in him, looking to finish Victor off. Victor with that fall of man, he had the match in the bag. That would have ended the match, but he didn't go for the cover. Instead, too busy mocking the crowd. And now it's coming back to bite him. Finn Balor, the double foot stomp to the back. And now Balor to the top rope. Could be right in position for the coup de grace. Right to the gut. Balor now into the cover. 2, 3. Itami took care of Connor. And Finn Balor and Hideo Itami are your new WWE Tag Team Champions. And that one, that's going to come back to haunt Victor. He's going to be replaying that mind over and over in his head. After hitting the fall of man, choosing not to go for the cover. And as a result, Itami just had just enough time to kick out of it. But I gotta say, there was a lot of back and forth tag team action in this matchup. See, all the plethora of tag team moves on display, but here it was. The coup de grace from Finn Balor. That was what finished Victor off for good. That's what put his lights out. And that is what won Balor and Itami the WWE Tag Team Championships. Congratulations to both of these two men. They arrived on the scene back at SummerSlam, and in just 2 short months, they have become Tag Team Champions. Well, regardless of whether or not it was Victor's fault that the match ended the way it did, one thing's for sure. These two men are now your new Tag Team Champions, and I think they've got a long reign in store.
Why does everyone think that Edge is better than me? Edge got a #1 contenders match 2 months ago, but I got nothing. Did you all forget that I was the world champion, not Edge? I won the Elimination Chamber. I defended my title at WrestleMania. So why, Edge, do you speak of this promise as if I can't carry my own weight? Don't treat me like I'm living in your shadow. Stop playing the hero. Because I am the hero of this story.
Well, you've heard the comments from Christian moments ago regarding this matchup between, I guess now you former friends. And here he comes, the former World Heavyweight Champion, Christian. And he is set to go one-on-one with, of course, none other than the ultimate opportunist, the rated R superstar, Edge. And just until more recently, when Paul Heyman made this announcement a couple of weeks back, neither of these two men seemed to be overly enthusiastic about this matchup. They seemed quite frustrated that it was going to be happening. But, like I said, more recently, Christian has just had this change of heart, and now he seems to be relishing at the opportunity to take on his former best friend in singles competition. This matchup tonight has become all about proving to Edge, and perhaps even to himself, that Christian is better than Edge. Of course, ever since Christian lost the World Heavyweight Championship to Dolph Ziggler at Extreme Rules, it has been a downward spiral for the man they call Captain Charisma. He was drafted over from SmackDown to Raw, and that just seemed to really lead everything to where it has reached at this point. Of course, both Christian and Edge have had opportunities against Dolph Ziggler for the World Heavyweight Championship, and both have come up short. Christian, of course, losing it at Extreme Rules. His rematch at Over the Limits was unsuccessful. Then you bring Edge into the equation. At Payback, he was in a triple threat match for the title, and he lost on that occasion. He had another opportunity in a ladder match at Money in the Bank, and he lost that match as well. So for a while there, Edge and Christian were both in a state of they were really just in suspense. They were just suspended there. They couldn't even face Dolph Ziggler because they'd run out of opportunities at the world title. Finally, though, once Ryback won the title from Ziggler at SummerSlam, both men, they could get back in the mix. And they were just hungrily awaiting Ziggler to lose that championship. And when he finally did, Edge, he snapped up the opportunity. And last month at Night of Champions, he had his match with Ryback for the world title. Unfortunately for the Ultimate Opportunist, he was unsuccessful on that occasion. And that leads us to where we are now. Christian had an opportunity to become #1 contender by winning the King of the Ring tournament, but that was unsuccessful as well. And now the frustrations between these two men have just boiled over to this point where we are right now. And that announcement by Paul Heyman just seemed to be the catalyst for all their frustrations. And now this matchup, they can unleash hell on one another. As Edge looking for a hip toss, Christian, though, counters with a hip toss of his own. Oh, and now Christian just slapped Edge right in the face. Well, you want to talk about frustrations. Christian just unleashing it on Edge right now. But Edge now backing Christian off the ropes. Ducks underneath. Leapfrog over top. Christian bounces back. Flapjack there from Edge as he takes Christian down to the canvas. Stomping away into the arm of Captain Charisma. Edge, we want to reach him for comment on this matchup. He refused to say anything in regards to this matchup. Obviously, this is going to take a very emotional toll on both of these two men. And Edge as well. We heard Christian earlier talking about Edge's promise that he made. Christian seems to think that that was a selfish promise of Edge, that he wasn't even considering that Christian could win the title back himself. And you gotta just think, Edge, that's only just gonna weigh on his shoulders even more. The fact that not only he could not live up to that promise, but as a result, Christian has just snapped here, as Christian drives the elbow right into the forehead of Edge. But this is the opportunity that both men have wanted. They want an opportunity to get into the world title picture. And a victory tonight could put them right up in the #1 contender spot. But I also mentioned earlier that Rusev, nice counter there by Edge. I also mentioned earlier that Rusev was near the top of the list as well, especially after that victory he just got over Seth Rollins. So perhaps Rusev could just be the next guy in line, which makes this matchup all the more important, because a loss pretty much extinguishes any opportunity that the loser will have at the World Championship, at least for the near future. Now as Edge sends Christian flying. Follows it up with an elbow drop now to the sternum of Christian. But now Christian counters with a jawbreaker. Edge stunned for a moment. And Christian a knee right to the skull of the Rated R superstar. Now follows it up with a knee to the skull of Edge. And Christian, this is all about proving himself tonight. And so far, if he can keep this upper hand on Edge, he's doing a good job, but now Edge kicks off. And Edge, I'm not sure. Obviously, I mentioned earlier about an emotional toll that this could take on both men. Christian now, sit out mat slam, hooks the leg, 2. Oh, kick out by Christian. But Edge, I'm not really sure what his end objective here is in this matchup. Obviously, he wants to be the #1 contender, but I don't know if he really was willing to take this much of a loss in order to become #1 contender. I mean, we see how this has warped Christian's mind. Just all the frustrations of the past several months, and then the announcement of this matchup. Christian, it appears as though he is willing to jeopardize this friendship, this partnership, in order to become World Heavyweight Champion. Edge, I'm not so sure if he's willing to do the same, and that could perhaps be the difference maker in this matchup. If Edge is unwilling to pull the trigger on Christian, he's not going to win this matchup. But we'll see how things play out. A gutbuster there to Christian. So far, it doesn't appear as though Edge is holding anything back, and he cannot afford to. Look at this, an inverted sharpshooter, the educator, slide on Christian. And Christian nowhere near the ropes. Now he's the one on the receiving end of a submission hold, but he's able to kick Edge off and escape. And another slap to the face from Christian. How disrespectful can you get? And now, kill switch! Kill switch! It's over! Christian, just like that, could have the victory in hand. 2, 3, no! Edge somehow managed to kick out of the kill switch. Christian caught Edge completely off guard with that one. So early in the matchup, Christian nailing his move. But he's going to have to do more damage to finish off Edge. We've seen Edge's endurance in the past. Take a look back just 2 weeks ago with his match with Randy Orton. Wait a minute now, the cover here from Christian. 1, 2... No! Edge kicks out of the sunset flip. And now Edge counters with a jawbreaker. And drop kick. Down goes Christian. He crashes into the mat right there. And talking about Orton, he's of course going to be facing Ryback for the world title later on tonight. Both of these men have had matches with Orton, and both have come up short. Neither man is really in a good predicament, or in a good position in terms of victories. The win-to-loss ratio for both of these men in recent memory has not been very impressive. It's been something to forget. And both of these men would like to put that behind them. Christian now a Texas Cloverleaf, working on the legs of Edge. And Edge, he's right trapped in the center of the ring. Christian, can he make Edge tap out here? Even if he can't, valuable damage being done here. And Christian, he gets sent flying. Edge using his leg strength to power out of that submission hold. Christian, though, an arm drag. Edge, an arm drag. Back and forth, these two men go. And an elbow right to the face. Edge picking Christian back up to his feet once more. This has been a very back and forth match up to this point. Can Edge maintain a firm control of the matchup here? As he goes off the ropes, crossbody into the ropes. And that could crush the life out of Christian. Edge hooks the leg. 1, 2. No, Edge. He needs to do more damage to finish Christian off, to put him down for a 3 count. And struggling to get back to their feet. The damage done throughout this matchup is really starting to take its toll, as Christian driven into the mat by that face buster. And now Edge sizing him up for the spear. No! Christian reversed it into a DDT. Edge planted face first into the mat. Christian now scaling to the top rope, diving headbutt. Christian taking a risk, but will it pay off? 2. No, Edge gets the shoulder up. And you see the face, the frustration written all over Christian's face there. And you saw he just kicked Edge down there. Christian, he is just absolutely fed up with his current situation on Monday Night Raw. And tonight, he's looking to put an end to it. And perhaps the first step in doing that is the destruction of Edge. Christian going back to work on that leg. Perhaps trying to set him up for yet another submission, but Edge able to kick him away. If Christian can do any more damage on that leg, Edge might not be able to come back from it. But right now, look at this! A sit-out powerbomb to Christian. And that could be the difference maker. That could be the game changer. Edge scaling to the top rope. This time he's looking to take a risk. Christian back up to his feet. Edge across body. And a hook of leg. 1, 2. No, Christian. How close. So close to a 3 count. But Christian just barely hangs on. barely keeps himself alive in this matchup. Downward spiral from Edge. And that could set Christian up in prime position for a devastating spear. Edge once more, calling for Christian to get up. Here we go! Edge nails it. The spear. And that's good night, Christian. 1, 2, 3. No! Now it's Christian who kicks out of the finish. And Edge, I wouldn't say frustration, more just disbelief right there. He's beside himself. Christian, with everything he has left, managing to kick out of the spear, but now an execution. An execution DDT. This one is over. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. How the hell? How the hell is Christian still in this match? Edge can't believe it. I don't even know if Christian himself can believe it. That's if he's even with it right now. Perhaps just on instinct alone. Could be the one thing keeping him in this matchup. But after that flapjack, Edge, he's got Christian in a bad way. Edge back up to the top rope once again. Another crossbody. Oh no, wait. Christian caught him. Backbreaker to Edge. Very resourceful counter from Christian. And that could be the change in momentum that he needs to finish him off. Reverse DDT. Christian nails it. And now trying to drag Edge away from those ropes. Avoiding the rope break at all costs. Christian, forearm to the face. 2. Oh, and again Edge gets the shoulder up. Christian, he didn't even have the strength to hook the leg there. And that could have been the difference between victory and defeat. That could come back to cost Christian. As Edge struggling to make a vertical base. Oh, an uppercut from Christian. And, well, Edge, he wasn't on his feet for very long. Christian made sure of that. As now, he's got Edge by the back of the head. Putting him into the turnbuckle here. And now looking to put him up top. This is not going to be good. Whenever anyone goes to the top rope, whether for one or both men, nothing good can come of this. Christian with Edge up top. Superplex. And that might have done it. That might be the finishing blow. Christian, cover. 2, 3. Christian has done it. That superplex was the nail in Edge's coffin. The damage from the kill switch early on just added up. And eventually, it was only a matter of time before Christian could get the win. But you see Edge, he went down, and he put up one hell of a fight. You can't deny that. But in the end, Christian, he gets the victory he desperately needed. And perhaps he has destroyed the friendship that he once had with Edge. One thing's for sure, though. Christian, his status on Monday Night Raw in the World Heavyweight Championship contention has just gone up. Rusev, got to keep an eye on this man. Ryback, Randy Orton as well. Christian is dangerous. So we were able to catch up with Paul Heyman just a few moments ago here at Battleground, and this was what he had to say. You want to know why I pulled Cesaro from the match earlier tonight? Simply put, I have a brand to maintain. If Cesaro lost that match, how would that have made Monday Night Raw look compared to SmackDown? It's not that Cesaro hasn't impressed me in the past, it's that he hasn't impressed me recently. Since winning the Intercontinental title, Cesaro has won 6 matches and lost 3. Compare that to the previous 2 months, where he won 10 matches and lost 0. Not only that, but his reign as Intercontinental Champion was a mere 11 days. I sense a disturbing trend is in the works, and I'm not going to risk embarrassing myself for Cesaro's sake. With that being said, I'm still giving Cesaro a chance to prove me wrong tonight, and since SmackDown can no longer deliver on their promised triple threat, I guess it's my responsibility to pick up the slack. Oh, and I recall my counterpart saying something about taking every free agent before I do? I guess that was just another false promise. Well, now you've heard the explanation from Paul Heyman. And whether you like it or not, the fact remains that he was pulled from the Intercontinental Championship matchup early on tonight, and now he is being forced to defend his United States Championship in yet another Cesaro United States Championship Open Challenge. But this is not just any Open Challenge, this is a triple threat match. And while one may argue that the Championship Scramble was a much more difficult task for Cesaro to try to overcome, and obviously at SummerSlam he did overcome that obstacle that he set for himself, tonight it is a bit different. The fact that the Championship Scramble, superstars would come down to the ring in increments of time, as opposed to this matchup where all three will be there from the get-go. And from what we heard from Paul Heyman, it seems as though he's got a bit of a trick up his sleeve. Some new entity could very well be appearing in this matchup. So let's just wait and see who is it going to be. Well, there you have it, folks. Here he is. The Lone Wolf of NXT is making his debut on the main stage. It is Baron Corbin. My God. This is awesome. I mean, Baron Corbin, I gotta be honest, he's not a type of guy that you should admire. He's definitely not your typical role model. But I must say, Baron Corbin, if you want to talk about a superstar who really just doesn't care about anything other than self-interest, well, I mean, this is the epitome of what a superstar like that should be. I mean, you just want to look at the size of this man, Baron Corbin. A former football player, so he's really got the build of more of a superstar of old, where, say, somebody like an Ultimate Warrior or a Hulk Hogan, really just the hulking size. That's what Baron Corbin brings to the table. Cesaro, we like to credit him for his power, but Baron Corbin, don't count Corbin out of the fight. He's got some explosiveness as well. If he can catch you out in that end of days, well, it will be your end of days. So Cesaro, perhaps his U.S. Championship could be in jeopardy now that the Lone Wolf has stepped up to the plate. Wait a minute! Wait a minute! You've got to be kidding me! Looks like Baron Corbin's not the only one to make a debut tonight. That is Samoa Joe! The Samoan submission machine has arrived here to WWE at Battleground tonight. Oh my God, Paul Heyman, he has pulled out he's pulled another rabbit out of the hat. This time in the form of Samoa Joe. Well, I mean, at SummerSlam we saw the debut of Finn Balor and Hideo Itami. But now Cesaro, this Open Challenge really is a great way to set the stage for new superstars, for returning legends, whatever have you. And tonight it is Baron Corbin and Samoa Joe who make their presence felt for the first time here in Universe Mode. Looking at Samoa Joe, he's wrestled around the world for the past decade or so, and now he has finally reached the WWE. Cesaro, Baron Corbin, and Samoa Joe, and it's for that prestigious United States Championship here tonight. Oh my God. Are you pumped for this matchup? Because I'm pumped. There it is, for perhaps the last time, as is the case with all these Open Challenges. Referee holding up Cesaro's United States title. Cesaro getting one last look at the gold for what could perhaps be the final time. And you want to talk about Cesaro's World Champion or United States Championship being in jeopardy. I mean, we've seen him put into really tough situations in the past, but this one I think might take the cake. The Championship Scramble, we did see the likes of Finn Balor, Hideo Itami, and Sami Zayn in that matchup. But now Cesaro going up against Baron Corbin and Samoa Joe from the get-go. And as well as that, Cesaro doesn't have to be pinned to lose the title. So, whereas with the Championship Scramble, he did have time on his side, where if all he had to do was really maintain that, I mean, really just stop anybody from getting a pinfall. The fact that he was always still in the matchup really did play out to his benefit. That you know, championship scrambles do have a time limit, so if somebody would get pinned, Cesaro still did have the opportunity to win the title back, as he did. But tonight, he doesn't have that luxury. Tonight, it is whoever gets the first fall gets the title. And right now, Cesaro's been dumped to the outside. Here's Samoa Joe. No, he went for a back suplex, but Baron Corbin shifted the weight. And crashing into the chest of Samoa Joe. And just that punch right to the, almost to the nose of Samoa Joe. So right now, I mean, this matchup, this time Cesaro, he's not just going to be able to utilize his power advantage to dominate the matchup like he's been able to with some of his opponents. Tonight, Cesaro, he's probably the most athletic of the bunch. Because you look at Samoa Joe and Baron Corbin, who perhaps possess even more power than Cesaro. He's going to have to come up with some new approach to this matchup. As look at this, suplex after suplex, these three men just going all out. Baron Corbin now clotheslined over the top rope. Samoa Joe taking care of the lone wolf and now slapping Cesaro in the face. And this is what you don't want to see from Samoa Joe. You don't want to get hit with those strikes of his. And in fact, if you might not even see him coming. Samoa Joe right now taking Cesaro down and on send from the Samoan submission machine. Joe now the cover. 1, 2. Oh, almost a 3 count right there. Samoa Joe nearly had the United States Championship in his grasp. And with Baron Corbin knocked outside of the ring, perhaps that could be a good strategy for Corbin to just, you know, chill on the outside and let these two men tear each other apart. We've seen in the past that... Wait a minute. Oh! Cesaro hung up there on the ropes with that stun gun-like maneuver from Samoa Joe. And now, Samoa Joe locking in a Boston Crab. Cesaro trying to perhaps crawl to the ropes. But Samoa Joe's got it really cinched in. Oh, and there it is. Now he's got it really locked in. Really wearing Cesaro down here in this submission hold. Smart move there by Samoa Joe, and that's why they call him the submission machine. You don't want to get caught, especially not in his devastating coquina clutch. You get caught in that, you're going to pass out, and you're going to be up. Not just this matchup, but you could be out like a light for weeks. As Samoa Joe takes Cesaro down there with a German suplex. And you see Samoa Joe is feeling it. This crowd is loving the debut of Samoa Joe. As now Cesaro back into the fray. European uppercut there to Joe. These two men back and forth. Joe with a punch now, a jab to the face. Cesaro though a counter. These two men trading strikes back and forth. But Cesaro staggers Joe with an uppercut. And now Cesaro, springboard European uppercut. That is vintage Cesaro here. And double foot stomp right to the gut of and a kick to follow it up. Beautiful combination, but Cesaro still not done. Another double foot stomp and another kick. And another double foot stomp. Could he be looking for 3 here? Oh, no, not this time. Joe caught the leg. Oh, and he takes him down with a dragon screw. Samoa Joe. You know, it took a couple of those strikes to really wake him up. But he caught that last one, and that's what mattered. Taking Cesaro down with the STO. And now perhaps could be going in for the finishing blow. As Samoa Joe now picking Cesaro up for that reverse vertical suplex. Samoa Joe right now, he is in control of this matchup. Drops the knee right into the face of Cesaro. As Baron Corbin still down on the outside after Samoa Joe cleared him out of the ring. And German suplex from Joe, but he's still keeping it hooked. Oh, now look at this. Oh, a full Nelson suplex. But still got him. This time a straightjacket German suplex and into the cover. 1, 2. Oh, a kick out by Cesaro. But Samoa Joe is inching closer to putting Cesaro out for good. But Cesaro with a counter now. European uppercut once more. Samoa Joe staggered up against the ropes. Cesaro whips him off and a European uppercut again from the Swiss Superman. Cesaro has taken down Samoa Joe, and now it's Cesaro's turn to take control with a gut-wrench suplex, but this time Cesaro keeps him hooked. Looking to return the favor with some suplexes of his own. There's number 2. And now number 3 is on the way. Bam, right there. Cesaro takes down Samoa Joe. And now Cesaro could be calling for a Cesaro swing, baby. No, but there's Baron Corbin. Corbin has snuck back in the ring, picking his spot, and he clears Cesaro out of the ring. Smart move by Baron Corbin to pick his spot, and then, just like that, interject himself back in this matchup, and now stomping a mud hole in Samoa Joe.
Clearing Cesaro out of the ring and just really picking up the pieces of what Cesaro left off. That clothesline right to the back of the head of Samoa Joe, and now driving the knee right into the face of Samoa Joe. Now punching him right in the side of the head. Baron Corbin right now, perhaps for him,
was to stay on the outside as long as he did, and really just wait until the time was right to get himself back in the matchup. And now you can see it's paying off. Samoa Joe hung up on those ropes, and Baron Corbin bounces him face first off the mat. And now Corbin the cover. 1, 2, no, but it got Joe. Corbin nearly putting away Joe right there. But Samoa Joe, he's still got a lot more left in the tank. For those of you who have never seen Samoa Joe in action before, if you're not impressed with what you're seeing already, well, Samoa Joe, he's still got a lot left to show us all. Chop right there to the chest of Baron Corbin. Right on those tattoos. And I can say those chops, especially when they're coming from somebody with the strength, the striking ability, the ferociousness of Samoa Joe. And now look at Joe. Again, just lighting up Corbin with these chops. Baron Corbin, oh wait, oh my god, look at Joe! Look at Joe with those strikes! I mean, I didn't even happen to catch how many there was. A couple of punches to the body, and here we go again! Joe again! What's the slaps? And they're enough to drop Baron Corbin. We're talking about Baron Corbin nearly 7 feet tall, and Samoa Joe just dropped him like a sack of potatoes.
And now kicking him right in the chest. Samoa Joe off the ropes, running senton, this time to Corbin. Looking to deflate Baron Corbin with a move like that. Joe now picking Corbin up to his feet, tossing him out over the top rope. But Corbin able to hang on. But that's might not what he wanted to do. That might not have been what he wanted to do. Samoa Joe with the belly-to-belly suplex back inside the ring. Now Joe putting Corbin in the corner. There's a reverse elbow and an enziguri to follow it up. Samoa Joe, he's just on fire right now. Now the cover on Corbin. 1, 2. No, Corbin kicks out. But again, Samoa Joe with the near fall, nearly putting away one of his opponents. Could Samoa Joe be our next United States champion? Well, no, Corbin looking to shut that down. There was the knee to the guts, and now almost a Falcon Arrow type maneuver there from Baron Corbin. And now he hooks the leg. 1, 2. No, but Joe kicks out again. And Baron Corbin, the frustration begins to boil over. Samoa Joe has just been completely dominating this matchup tonight. Baron Corbin now putting him into the corner there. And now a clubbing blow to the back. No, but this time Joe counters. Now Samoa Joe pulls him back. Oh, and a big boot to the face of Baron Corbin. But wait a minute, Cesaro's back up on the apron. Cesaro now got Samoa Joe for, oh, a suplex out to the floor. Cesaro picking his spot now and jumping back into the matchup at the most opportune time. Oh no, this is not going to be good for Samoa Joe. Not out on the floor with the neutralizer. And he might have just eliminated Samoa Joe from this matchup. Corbin now, oh no wait, Corbin caught him! Corbin caught him, no! End of days! End of days! Corbin hooks the leg, 1, 2, 3, Baron Corbin has just defeated Cesaro. And that's what I'm talking about. You get caught with that end of days. When you're wrestling a match against Baron Corbin, you need to work an almost perfect match. Because if you slip up for even a second, like Cesaro just did there, he will catch you out with that end of days. And that's what spelled the end for Cesaro's United States Championship reign, a title he wasn't even supposed to defend tonight. But now, I mean, you just think about this night for Cesaro. He was coming in perhaps expecting to win back the Intercontinental Championship. Instead, not only did he not even get a chance to compete for that title, but as well, he has lost his United States Championship to Baron Corbin.
Well, Baron Corbin, as if his ego wasn't bloated enough, now he's the United States Champion to back it up.
Well, if it hasn't already, the action here at the Battleground pay-per-view is about to pick up.
Flying man that gravity forgot, Adrian Neville, is set to make his way down to the ring here for his matchup, his grudge match with Chris Jericho. This being the more recent development of all the matches here on the Battleground pay-per-view. Well, I guess up until the announcement of the US Open Challenge, which just took place. This being the newest matchup ever. And that's after Chris Jericho, 2 weeks ago, delivered a low blow to Adrian Neville, just humiliated him. After Neville humiliated Jericho by defeating him in singles competition. And now tonight, Neville, he's looking to try to avenge his humiliation after Jericho just assaulted him after the match, disrespected him. Whereas Chris Jericho, he's looking to get his win back over Adrian Neville in hopes of perhaps pursuing some singles gold. Both of these men, of course, coming off of losses, first round eliminations in the King of the Ring tournament. Jericho falling victim to Stardust. Adrian Neville coming up short against Roman Reigns. So now tonight, I have to say, this is a good opportunity for both men to bounce back, get themselves a pay-per-view victory. To propel themselves to something greater at Survivor Series, or just in the future in general. Well, here comes Y2J Chris Jericho. And man, does he look as smug as ever. This crowd certainly has become very displeased with Chris Jericho after his despicable actions 2 weeks ago. Jericho's coming into this one after a victory over Colin Cassidy on the previous episode of Thursday Night SmackDown. So Jericho has a little bit of momentum in his corner, although does that really make up for his several weeks upon months of failures, at least in recent memory here on SmackDown? The journey to SmackDown, at first, it was a successful one for Jericho. He got himself right into the main event picture. But really, ever since Elimination Chamber, he's fallen off the wagon. But now that he's turned this new leaf, perhaps trying to tap into a more aggressive side of himself, Chris Jericho looking to get right back on the top of the mountain. As these two men lock up, collar and elbow tie up in the center of the ring. Neville looking to go to work on the arm of Jericho. And that's a smart strategy. This man likes to call himself the man of 1,004 holds. So if you can neutralize the arm off Jericho's ability to use many of those 1,004 holds, and especially if it's a submission hold, it's going to cut off some of the power that Jericho can use. As now we have a bit of a standoff here, a stalemate thus far in this matchup. But Neville with some strikes here, but Jericho with one of his own. And now he's trying to back Neville into a corner, perhaps. Whips him off the ropes. But Neville counters with a jawbreaker. And there's a kick right to the guts. Adrian Neville, he's got Chris Jericho for perhaps a suplex. No, instead he turns it into a brainbuster. And follows it up with a standing shooting star press. Adrian Neville tonight, same strategy as he always has. He's got to go out there with a fast-paced style of offense. He's got to utilize his high-flying athleticism to keep Jericho at bay. Look at Neville, a sleeper slam. He's got to keep Jericho moving, because if Jericho can ground Neville, keep it a slower-paced style of matchup, then Jericho, like I said before, that's about 75% of the battle right there. Here's a cover, but Jericho kicks out at 1. But so far, Adrian Neville doing a good job at bringing the fight to Jericho early. As Neville flips him over.
But Jericho trying to get back up to his feet. Neville not going to let that happen, but Jericho rolls out of the way. Neville now. Float over DDT. Jericho tried to escape, but Neville's not having any of it. Neville keeping him in his sights. And now a missile dropkick right to the side of the head. Adrian Neville. Perhaps looking higher. Gonna go springboard.
Here we go. Missile dropkick. But no, Jericho dodges it. And now Jericho. Backbreaker right there to Neville.
And this is what I'm talking about. If Jericho can ground Neville. Oh, well, here's more disrespect. More arrogance on the part of Chris Jericho. And again, Jericho just mocking the crowd and Adrian Neville here. Usually he likes to usually he likes to shout to fire up the crowd, but not anymore. This crowd, they're not having any of it. As Jericho now sending Neville off the ropes. And a second reverse elbow. Chris Jericho almost just toying with Adrian Neville here. Backbreaker right there, and again Neville back down to the canvas.
And Jericho stomp right to the forehead of the man that gravity forgot. Look at the credentials of these two men. Adrian Neville, a former NXT champion. And you take a look at his recent pay-per-view record. Other than King of the Ring, Neville's been doing pretty well for himself. A victory at SummerSlam over Corey Graves. And a victory at Over the Limit over Bo Dallas. But right now, Jericho, he's not letting that dissuade him. There's a vertical suplex. Oh, and look at this. That's vintage Chris Jericho. That's some old school Y2J right there. But that's not enough to get the win. Jericho just putting his foot on Adrian Neville. And how disrespectful can you get? Not even hooking a leg. Not even going for any sort of conventional pin. Just stepping on Neville. That is the epitome of disrespect. And perhaps that'll only just serve to fire Neville up here in this matchup. Right now, Neville striking away on Chris Jericho. And now, Jericho rebounding off the ropes right into these shots. Right to the kidneys. And now Neville, he's looking to go springboard yet again. Can he connect this time? Jericho stumbles back to his feet. Missile dropkick from a springboard missile dropkick is what I should say. And now the hook of the leg. 1, 2. No, Jericho kicks out at 2. Just able to keep himself alive in this matchup. But Neville utilizing devastating kicks to full effectiveness so far in this match. And now, Northern Light suplex bridging into the pin. 1, 2. No, Jericho kicks out at 2 again. But Jericho, he's reeling right now. And Adrian Neville perhaps looking to set him up for a second brain buster. Nailed it right there. And that one cut Jericho. Jericho, he's been busted open. Look at this. A standing corkscrew moonsault. And Neville now. The cover. 1, 2. No, Jericho again. Barely survives. And you see the blood now flowing out of the top of the head of Chris Jericho. Oh wait, counter by Jericho. Counter. German suplex. And just like that, Chris Jericho regains control of the match. And now I think that wound might just infuriate Jericho. There's now a Michinoku driver, the cover. 2. No, Neville kicks out. Near fall this time for Jericho. Now picking Neville back up to his feet. And perhaps a second Michinoku driver is on the way. And now Jericho, that's going to set Neville in prime position for a high-risk maneuver. From the top, elbow drop. And Jericho hooks the leg. 1, 2. No, Neville kicks out again. Jericho with some high-flying offense trying to perhaps match Neville here. But it was not enough. And now Jericho putting Neville back into the corner. There's a punch right to the face of Neville. And there goes no, wait, Neville hangs on. But he might not have wanted to. Look at this! Missile dropkick. And now Neville crashes to the floor. And there's a little bit of a Jericho, more arrogance there. Just shuffling his feet right now. Neville back to his feet. Chris Jericho. Lion salt out to the floor.
And Jericho, now he's feeling fired up. Using some high-flying offense of his own to bring the fight to Neville here on the outside. Bouncing him skull first off of the announce table. And now tossing Neville back inside the ring. Big boot now from Jericho.
And slowly making his way back into the ring, taking his time. He's not in any hurry to finish Neville off here. Unlike Neville, Neville wants a fast-paced style of match. Chris Jericho off the top rope. Axe handle. Jericho just toying with Neville at this point in time. And now picking Neville up to his feet. Neville, though, a counter. Full reversal from Neville. And now, Neville with the roll-up. Roll-up here, but where's the referee? Referee! 2. No, Jericho kicks out. And if the ref had been in position, that could have been a 3 count. But now, Neville off the second rope. A drop kick and a kip up. Adrian Neville, it's his turn now to find his second wind. Scaling to the top rope, but Jericho back to his feet. Jericho had it well scouted, and he tosses Neville off the top rope. And the risk does not pay off this time for Neville. Jericho, powerbomb to Neville, and bridging into the pin. 1, 2. Oh, so close. But yet so far. Jericho now going for a neck breaker, but Neville blocks it. Neville counters the neck breaker, and now he's got Jericho. Sit out powerbomb. This time it's Jericho crashing into the canvas. And Neville again looking to fly. Jericho could be in a world of trouble here. Neville no! Jericho avoids the corkscrew moonsault. And now Neville, he's just a sitting duck. Codebreaker from Y2. And surely this match is over. But Jericho not opting to go for the pin instead. The Lion Tamer applied. And Neville, he's not going to be able to reach those ropes from that position. Stacked right on his head here. Neville may have no choice but to submit, and indeed, Neville taps out. Chris Jericho picks up a much-needed victory over Adrian Neville. We want to talk about high-paced action, high intensity. I mean, just look at this. So both these men took high risks in this matchup, but in the end, it's Neville's risks that do not pan out for him. He went for that corkscrew moonsault, and when you miss a high risk move like if you miss a high risk move like that, you crash and burn, and that just set Neville right in position for the code breaker. And you see again right here, Neville tapping out to the Lion Tamer. I'm sure when Jericho gets to the back, he's going to be watching that on replay over and over again. Because that's how self-indulgent this man is. Chris Jericho, love him or hate him, you can't deny that he gets the win tonight. He is back on track here in his career. I've waited 13 long months for this opportunity. The chance to finally take back my World Heavyweight Championship. I may not hold a one-on-one victory over you, Ryback, but that doesn't mean I'm incapable of beating you. After all, I was the sole survivor at last year's Survivor Series. Don't forget who I am. I am the youngest World Heavyweight Champion in WWE history. I am the Legend Killer. Make one mistake, and I'll drop you with an RKO. And once I do, WWE will once again enter the age of Randy Orton. It is now time for the WWE Championship contest between the Beast Incarnate, the current champion, Brock Lesnar, and the challenger, the powerhouse of Thursday Night SmackDown, the Samoan badass, Roman Reigns. He's making his way here through the crowd into the Battleground Arena here in New Orleans. And Roman Reigns, we reached him earlier today. We asked him for a comment on this matchup. We asked him, everything that's been going on leading up to this point. The loss to Bray Wyatt at SummerSlam, the loss at King of the Ring. How was he feeling heading into this match?
And Roman Reigns, he replied, "It's not about the past, it's not about the future. Tonight, it's about tonight. And it's about the WWE Championship and walking out the winner." And you can believe that. Roman Reigns, he is, well, one way or another, despite everything that he's been through the past several months, his loss to Bray Wyatt, you know, just his misfortunes as of late, really, he was able to turn it all around. He didn't let that get him down. A tag team victory following King of the Ring, and then his win on the last episode of SmackDown over Mark Henry to become the #1 contender has gotten him back on track and has gotten him this match with Brock Lesnar tonight. But that's only half the battle. He's made it this far. Now all he has to do, I say that as if it's going to be easy. All he has to do is defeat Brock Lesnar. This is the man who won the WWE Championship by cashing in Daniel Bryan's Money in the Bank at SummerSlam and defeating CM Punk. The man who injured John Cena at Night of Champions after taking him to Suplex City. Cena's still on the shelf. We haven't seen him back on SmackDown since his match with Brock Lesnar, since he was laid out by Bray Wyatt after the match. What fate is in store for Roman Reigns tonight? Oh, and of course, who could forget? 4 weeks ago, I should say, Bo Dallas. He was destroyed at the hands of Brock Lesnar. We haven't seen him since either. Roman Reigns, could he have an extended stay on the injured reserve list in store for him after tonight? Or does he have World Heavyweight Championship written in his future? Could tonight be Roman Reigns' night to fulfill his destiny and capture the gold from the Beast Incarnate? We're going to find out. This match is underway. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar staring each other down. Oh, and Brock Lesnar's got the arm here. Going to work early on the arm of Roman Reigns. We know how Roman Reigns loves to use his clotheslines, his punches, his spears. So Brock Lesnar right out of the gate, looking to cut off one of Reigns' arms here. Perhaps soften him up for the Kimura lock. Oh, and here we go. Suplex number 1. A back suplex. And it's about time we start up the suplex counter yet again. How many will it take to put Roman Reigns down for a 3 count? Butterfly suplex, make it 2. John Cena, we saw how much punishment he had to take until Brock Lesnar finally finished him off at Night of Champions. And there's a takedown from Lesnar. And Lesnar now just, this is his point in the match. Very early on, what Reigns had to do was start out with the upper hand, and he has failed to do that. And as a result, Brock Lesnar will now dictate the pace of this matchup. And Brock Lesnar, he's just going to wait. He's just going to stalk Roman Reigns. Just wait until Reigns gets back up to his feet. And now a snap suplex. No! Reigns with a knee to the skull. Able to counter the suplex. There's an uppercut to the jaw. And now Brock Lesnar gets taken down. Roman Reigns an elbow drop now. He's got Lesnar. He's got the Beast Incarnate off his feet. Now wait a minute. Lesnar counters and he floors Reigns. Absolutely decked him with that clothesline. And here we go again. Back suplex number 3. And Brock Lesnar. I mean, just look at that. Brock Lesnar, he hasn't even broken a sweat yet. German suplex, make it 4. Brock Lesnar already racking up an impressive amount of suplexes in this matchup. Looking for perhaps a 5th here. Exploder suplex. And the hook of the leg on Reigns. 1, 2, no. Reigns kicks at it. 1. Not even a 2 count. Reigns trying to get back up to his feet. Lesnar looking for a powerbomb. Reigns, though, having none of that. Couple of punches, and now a drop kick. Down goes Lesnar. Roman Reigns. He has taken Lesnar off his feet yet again, and a clothesline. Reigns put everything he had behind that one, and now hammering away on Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns, that's what he's got to do, is utilize his striking ability And he might have to take some risks, like the one he's doing right now. Elbow drop from the top rope. Roman Reigns. Oh, now he's looking to fly again. Reigns once more to the top. Looking for a second elbow, but no. Brock Lesnar gets out of the way. And now Lesnar, back to the arm. Back to the arm of Roman Reigns. Attacking the shoulder now. Brock Lesnar. 5 suplexes, and another armbar is applied. Brock Lesnar really looking to wear down that arm of Roman Reigns. Prevent him from using that spear of his, the Superman punch. Actually, I believe that might be the weaker arm of Roman Reigns, which is a smart strategy for Lesnar. If you want to try to perhaps break an arm, you go for the non-dominant one. Definitely could make Reigns tap out much quicker with that approach. Oh no. Brock Lesnar, German suplex. German suplex. German suplex. Now up to 8. Brock Lesnar. He's taken Roman Reigns out on a fine date in Suplex City, and now could be about to hit him. No. Brock Lesnar now the Kimura lock. The Kimura lock is applied. And Roman Reigns, well, I hope Suplex City's got a good doctor. Because Reigns, he's about to get his arm broken here by the Beast Incarnate. Roman Reigns, he can't reach the ropes. But Brock Lesnar releases the hold. Brock Lesnar wants to inflict just a little more punishment on Reigns. Now going after the other arm of Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar again. Now, there's that other arm. Another armbar here. Oh, that's almost like a Kimura lock. A standing Kimura lock. Lesnar trying to take out both arms of Reigns. Well, Reigns able to fight out of it. There's a punch to the jaw again. There's one to the gut. Roman Reigns, this could be his last gasp right here. Clothesline. Perhaps trying to knock some feeling back into that arm. Lesnar trying to get up to his feet right now. He's been staggered by Reigns. And now Roman Reigns could be looking to put his power on display. I don't know how he's able to lift him up with what strength he's got left in his arm. But Lesnar able to get out of it. And Exploder Suplex number 9. Evidently, Reigns did not have enough strength in those arms to keep Lesnar hooked for that powerbomb. But now Lesnar looking for a powerbomb of his own. Nailed it. Oh, but he still got Reigns hooked. There's another one. And he nails the trifecta. 3 powerbombs. Well, maybe he's looking to open up a little detour called Powerbomb City. Perhaps, maybe that's the name of a motel or something in Suplex City. Who knows? Brock Lesnar kick to the gut of Roman Reigns. And despite all the punishment, Reigns is still in this matchup. But Reigns, oh look at this, a forearm right to the face of Lesnar. That one staggered the Beast Incarnate. And Roman Reigns, fall-away slam as he takes Lesnar down. Roman Reigns. He's got to hurry up and he's got to hit something big. He's got to do something big, something to keep Lesnar down for just even a few more seconds. As he clotheslines him out to the floor. Roman Reigns, he's looking to fly. Roman Reigns sacrificing life and limb to take Brock Lesnar out of the equation here. Well, there you see the clothesline over the top. It's very rare that we see Reigns fly over the top rope, but he did just that moments ago. Oh, and he almost cracked his head on that announce table. That would have been devastating for Reigns. No, not even a 2 count. All that, and Roman Reigns, oh my god, and Lesnar's up to his feet before Reigns. All that, and Lesnar still wasn't down for a 2 count. Suplex number 10. And Lesnar's completely unfazed. Lesnar just getting up and dancing. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. What is this man Lesnar made of? I mentioned on SmackDown that Mark Henry was a man. He was not a god. But Brock Lesnar, he's about to enter god territory at this rate. Now looking for another no. Reigns blocked the German suplex with an elbow. And now Lesnar backed into a corner. Roman Reigns whipping Lesnar into the opposite corner. And now a clothesline. He floored him. Roman Reigns now to the corner. Lesnar, he's dazed. Now's the time for Reigns to strike, telling Lesnar to get up. And now Reigns lying in wait for a Superman punch to the jaw. And Lesnar's out. Lesnar could be out of it. Reigns the cover. 2. Oh, almost. Almost a 3 count. But Lesnar's still in it. Roman Reigns had a bit of an argument there with the referee, but he can't waste any time. There's a European uppercut to Lesnar, and Lesnar, just like that, is back into the fight. That Superman punch didn't even keep him dazed for long, but Reigns still unloading. Now he's got Lesnar. Oh, right to the back of the skull, a forearm. Any normal man would be knocked unconscious by a strike like that. But Reigns looking to finish him off. There's the spear! And he might have broken Lesnar in half. Reigns, if he can get the cover here, he might just have this in the bag. Hook of the leg. 1, 2. Oh, Lesnar kicks out again. Maybe I was getting a little ahead of myself. Maybe I was getting a little ahead of myself, thinking that that would be enough to keep Lesnar down. Reigns to the top. Clothesline from the top rope. Roman Reigns perhaps looking to hit yet another spear. Or maybe another Superman punch. He's loading up for another strike. Does he have more ammo left in him, though? Lesnar to his feet. Reigns, he missed it. Lesnar sidestepped. And German suplex number 11. The cover. 2. Oh, and again Reigns kicks out. Lesnar, just like that, almost had this matchup won. But Reigns back to his feet. Back to Suplex City we go. Number 12. Lucky 13. And for Reigns, unlucky 14. Brock Lesnar, he's furious now. Lesnar, he's not wasting any time. F5 to Roman Reigns. Lesnar, though he wasn't quick to get back to his feet, but he doesn't need to be. That was the finishing blow. 2, 3, Brock Lesnar. His title reign will continue. Roman Reigns, he's not the man to beat the Beast. I mean, just take a look in this matchup. A grand total of 14 suplexes to Roman Reigns and an F5. And that, of course, is not counting the power bombs and the Kimura lock. Roman Reigns, granted, he put up a hell of a fight. He's just not the one. It is not his destiny to defeat Brock Lesnar. And if he will become WWE Champion one day, today is not his day. Well, you see the highlights of this matchup. Reigns, the Superman punch. That wasn't enough. That spear, not enough. And in the end, this F5 was the finishing blow that kept Roman Reigns down and out of this matchup. Brock Lesnar, he's going on to Survivor Series to defend his WWE Championship yet again. Will he be the target for Titus O'Neil? Will Titus challenge Brock Lesnar and cash in his King of the Ring contendership on the Beast Incarnate? Well, we'll be finding out here in the next several weeks, but until then, Lesnar reigns supreme.
Randy Orton, I thought our match several weeks back would have taught you something, but I guess I'll have to spell it out for you plain and simple. You think the situation has changed, but things are no different than they were 1 year ago. Tonight, I'm going to walk into that arena with this championship, and I'm going to walk out with this championship, just like I did before. Here's why. You can't defeat me. I was better than you 12 months ago. I was better than you 4 weeks ago. I am better than you now, and I will always be better than you.
And now it is time for the main event of the Battleground pay-per-view. This one is for the World Heavyweight Championship. It is Monday Night Raw's Apex Predator, Randy Orton, going one-on-one with the Human Wrecking Ball and the current World Heavyweight Champion, Ryback. It is a rivalry that is... Really, this rematch is 1 year in the making. Think about it this time last year. Randy Orton was challenging Ryback at the No Way Out pay-per-view for his then Intercontinental Championship. In a matchup, Randy Orton went on to lose. Then at Survivor Series, Team Orton defeated Team Ryback, with Randy Orton being the sole survivor of his team. Then again at TLC, Randy Orton fell short in his attempt to capture the Intercontinental Championship from Ryback in a ladder match. Now tonight, over 10 months later, Randy Orton is now a part of the Raw roster, but the situation remains the same. Ryback is the defending champion, Randy Orton the challenger. We'll see if tonight Randy Orton can finally overcome those voices in his head and finally defeat Ryback once and for all. And speaking of the world champ, he's about to make his way into the arena, and there he is. The big guy is here at Battleground, and Ryback, he is prepared for war against Randy Orton tonight. And Ryback is just as intense as ever. And Randy Orton will have to see if his intensity can match Ryback's intensity tonight, because Randy Orton, let's face it, his past year or so on SmackDown, ever since he lost at TLC, Randy Orton had a very difficult time getting back into the mix for the WWE Championship over on SmackDown. He did have an opportunity at the World Heavyweight title at the Royal Rumble when Mark Henry defended it in a triple threat against both Orton and Mysterio, but Orton, he didn't get the job done on that night. And now he's looking to try to resurrect his career after months and months of losing matches, just not having a spot on the SmackDown match card. Ever since he was brought over to Raw, things have changed for Randy Orton. Things have changed for the better. And now, this really is the peak of Randy Orton's renewal since coming to Raw. This match with his former enemy, and I guess his renewed rival in Ryback, as Ryback backs Orton into the corner here, exerting his power on the Viper. The referee going to have to get in there to force the break, and he does so successfully. These two men just sort of staring each other down, just trying to feel each other out so far in this matchup. And here we go again, collar and elbow tie-up. And this time it's Orton. Orton backing Ryback into a corner. And again, the referee's going to have to get in there and force the break. Oh, but this time Randy Orton gets a cheap shot in on the big guy. And that just goes to show you can never trust Randy Orton. You expect him to wrestle a clean matchup, while you're fooling yourself. There's Randy Orton with the strikes now on Ryback. There's a kick to the gut. Now a European uppercut, and Ryback staggered against the ropes. Randy Orton now whips him off, ducks underneath Ryback's attempted clothesline, and Randy Orton just about turned Ryback inside out with that clothesline. Talk about the viciousness behind that one. That's why they call Randy Orton the Apex Predator. That's why he was formerly known as the Legend Killer. You're always in danger when you're in the ring with Randy Orton. He's always dangerous. There's a reason why they nicknamed him the Viper, because he's as quick as a snake and just as deadly. But Ryback, he's neutralized Randy Orton's venom before, and I'm sure he's looking to do the exact same tonight. As he's got Randy... No. Orton blocked the suplex with a knee to the face, and now he lights up Ryback's chest with a chop. And again, Randy Orton posing for the crowd, just mocking Ryback here. And that is vintage Orton right there. There's the arrogance we've come to expect from the Viper. Really an arrogance that Orton has lacked throughout his I don't know exactly what to call it. I don't know exactly what to call his repeated failures. Really, I guess his drought on SmackDown. As Ryback now off the ropes, a splash, and he hooks the leg on Orton, Referee not even in position here. And that certainly is going to come back to hurt Ryback. Referee was nowhere near counting the pinfall there. So of course Orton's going to kick out at 1. That's just bad officiating right there from this ref. But Ryback can't let that get to him. As look at this, a deadlift powerbomb to the Viper. Ryback now the cover, this time the ref in position. 2. No, but Orton does kick out regardless. Ryback arguing with the referee, and understandably so that Ryback would be frustrated with this official after that last pinfall attempt. But now Ryback, a shoulder switch power slam. And Ryback is fired up. Ryback bringing the fight to Randy Orton early. One thing Orton's not going to be able to do is outpower Ryback. So instead he's going to have to use some other type of strategy. Vertical suplex to Ryback, and now into the cover. 1. No, not even a 1 count. Ryback kicks out before the 1 count. But Randy Orton sizing him up. Oh, and a knee right to the face of the big guy. Randy Orton. That's one thing he does possess that in more spades than Ryback, is just that pure aggressiveness. Randy Orton, he's much more explosive than Ryback is. And one thing Orton loves to do is wrestle a slow-paced style of match. Try to dissect his opponent, as he's doing right now. Just stomping on every exposed appendage of Ryback, and then he kicked him square in the face. And there it is again, stomping him right in the face. Randy Orton now hooks the leg. 1, 2, no, not even a 2 count, Ryback. Perhaps some frustration there from Ryback, just kicking out at 1. Not looking to show any signs of weakness is the world champ, but Orton now, DDT! Ryback bouncing skull first off the canvas. And Randy Orton now sizing him up. Look to the crowd and then stomped him right in the chest there. Just barely north of the border. Randy Orton now sweeps Ryback off his feet. Oh, and look at this. A reverse Boston Crab. Nice submission hold here from Randy Orton. Very smart strategy to wear down the champ. And Ryback is trapped in the center of the ring, but he's able to power out of it regardless. And now Ryback's got Randy Orton up on his shoulders. There's 1 powerbomb, but he's still keeping him hooked. There's a 2nd. And 3rd powerbomb there from Ryback. His power, his strength on full display in this matchup. As now he picks Orton back up to his feet. There's a clothesline. And now he ducks under the clothesline of Orton. And a back body drop. Ryback building up a full head of steam. There's a spine buster. Randy Orton's spine nailing the pine. And now Ryback sizing him up. Feed him more. Meet a clothesline. And this could be the beginning of the end for the Viper. And Ryback knows it. He is feeling it. Ryback, the hook of the leg. 1, 2. No, Orton kicks out at 2. Ryback can't believe it. He thought maybe that would be enough, but I'd have to think part of him knows that that wasn't going to be enough to finish Orton. These two men, they've clashed multiple times in the past. Their history is well documented. Ryback now. There's a splash from the second rope. And this is a good opportunity for both of these men. You know, it has been 10 months since they've last faced... if I can speak. Kick out again from Orton. It has been 10 months since they've last faced off. So it's really a question of who has grown more in that time. Has it been Orton or has it been Ryback? Randy Orton. Oh, a European uppercut. That one drops Ryback. And that move. That could break your jaw, leave you sucking soup from a straw for the next month or so. And Orton now takes him down with a nice slam into the cover. 1, 2. No, but Ryback kicks out again. Randy Orton so far doing a very good job at going toe-to-toe with Ryback. It's been a very back-and-forth matchup to this point. As Randy Orton flips Ryback over. Drops the elbow now right into the face. Right into the mush of Ryback. And Randy now Oh, elbow right to the forehead of Ryback. Again, Randy Orton showing his ferocity. But Ryback now kicks him away. And now just look at the ferociousness of Ryback, just bouncing Randy Orton's skull off the canvas repeatedly. Now dragging Orton to the center of the ring. Ryback, what's he got in store? Sizing him up. And now the knee right to the side of the head of the Viper. Ryback, in his own right, being very methodical in this matchup. Almost trying to match a style similar to Randy Orton, but then he does something like that. Flat out, outpowering Randy Orton. Just manhandling him, tossing him around like a rag doll. And now Ryback a full out of steam, but Orton dodges the clothesline, and Ryback runs right into those ropes. And I think his throat even caught that top rope. And now Randy Orton, he's going to take advantage. He's got Ryback right where he wants him. Neckbreaker there. The elevated neckbreaker from Orton, and the cover. 2. No, but again Ryback. He keeps himself alive in the match. It's going to take more than that to keep the big guy down for a 3 count. But Randy Orton knows that. He's not wasting any time. And we're about to see some vintage Randy Orton. The DDT through the ropes. And that could be the difference maker. Hook of the leg. 2. No! Ryback once again kicks out. Now Orton's showing some signs of frustration. There's a European uppercut once more. Ryback backed into a corner. And Randy Orton with these punches to the face. Now in need of the gut. Randy Orton, what's he gonna do now? To the second rope. Randy Orton looking to fly, but Ryback avoids it. And belly-to-belly suplex from the big guy. And that's why Randy Orton doesn't take high-risk moves too often. With a move like that, it just backfired for him. And now Ryback in control. Ducks underneath. And a big boot. And not only that, he followed it up by just stomping straight into the sternum of Randy Orton. It's not your average big boot. Ryback, he followed through with force. And now, perhaps trying to neutralize the arm of Randy Orton. Maybe prevent him from using the RKO later on. And now, from the second rope again, Ryback a splash, this time to the chest of Orton. And Ryback again to the second rope. Another splash from Ryback. He's just looking to crush Randy Orton. Trying to flatten him like a pancake. 1, 2, no! No matter how many times Ryback splashes from that top rope, that second rope I should say, it's still not enough to keep Orton down for a 3 count. And now Orton struggling to get out of that powerbomb, but he manages to escape the predicament, looking for an exploder suplex, but Ryback having none of that. And now it's Ryback back in control. Orton tried to get a gasp of offense in there, but Ryback was having none of it. And so now Orton in the center of the ring. Here's Ryback, splash to the back. Paying homage to the Ultimate Warrior. The cover. 1, 2, no! Orton still able to survive. And these two men, they just know each other so well. Ryback looking to clear Orton out of the ring. Ryback, if he can't beat him inside the ring, he might have to do some damage on the outside to give himself a bit more of an advantage. Oh no, Ryback over here at the announce table. And this one's about to get dangerous. Can we not go a single pay-per-view without somebody using the damn announce table? No, but Orton! Orton caught Ryback off guard. Ryback was too focused on the announce table. He gave too much time to Orton to recover. And now Ryback bouncing off the announce table there. Randy Orton's going to make Ryback pay for that mistake. As now he sets him up to the announce table, looking to bounce him head first. And Randy Orton now tosses Ryback back inside the ring. Ryback, he is paying for his mistake tenfold. And backbreaker from Randy Orton, another vintage maneuver. And now Randy Orton, you want to talk about vintage moves? This is one of his most acclaimed maneuvers. The RKO out of nowhere. But Ryback, he says no. It is out of nowhere because it didn't even happen. Look at this, another power slam from Ryback. Oh no, wait. Orton's back to his feet. Randy Orton really turning up the adrenaline. Ducks underneath. And power slam to Ryback. Vintage Randy Orton once again. And now Orton. Well, this is not a classic Randy Orton move. To the top rope. This time, the high risk pays off with a high reward. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, almost a 3 count. But almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And Randy Orton, he knows.
This is not the first time that Orton has come close to capturing a championship from Ryback, but just at the last second had it ripped from his grasp. As now Ryback clotheslined over the top rope. Orton, he is a former World Heavyweight Champion in his own right, but even that title reign only lasted about a month, as Ryback bounced skull first off the ring post. And Randy Orton, you can just see, he's fed up with Ryback. He's had enough of Ryback kicking out. Orton, what's he looking to do? He's got Ryback over to that barricade. This is not going to be good. Back suplex onto the barricade. Randy Orton looking to do whatever it takes to put Ryback away in this matchup. He knows the depths of Ryback's resilience. I'm sure these two men have studied the tape. They've gone back to their previous matches. Orton looking back to see, what did he do wrong? What does he have to improve on to defeat Ryback tonight? As Ryback now whips him off the ropes. Oh, and there's a Thez press. This is classic Ryback here. Now just bouncing Randy Orton, the back of his head, off of the mat. And now Ryback looking to go in for the kill. He's looking to conclude this matchup with the shell shocked, but Ryback unable to hit it. Orton the counter, and an RKO! RKO out of nowhere! And now the hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God! How did he do it? Ryback just kicked out of the RKO. Well, that's not the first time that Ryback has done that, but Randy Orton, after all the damage he's done in this matchup, I'm sure he thought that that was it. But no, Ryback, he's still in this matchup. Randy Orton ducking outside the ring now. And now Randy, he could be looking to put Ryback through that table. Things are just going to go from bad to worse for Ryback. But the question is, will it be enough to finish the big guy off? No, Ryback counters. Ryback now, he's got Orton ramming him gut first into the table. Oh no. Oh, I know what this is going to set up. And this is bad news for Randy Orton. Backpack stunner. And that one could leave Orton's lights out. He could be counted out right here. But this matchup is way too personal for it to end on a count out. Ryback, he wants to prove to Randy Orton once and for all that he cannot beat Ryback, that Ryback cannot be beaten. And he's looking to really reinforce that point right here. Up on the announce table, Ryback, power slam through the table. Randy Orton has just been laid out. And he might have even almost looked like he came down on that monitor there. Ryback tossing the Viper back inside the ring. And the champion now could just be 3 seconds away from the victory. 1, 2, 3. No! Randy Orton's still in it. I thought for sure that was going to be the 3 count, but I guess in the time that it took Ryback to get Orton back inside the ring, Orton just had enough wherewithal to kick out at the last second. Ryback placing Orton up on that top rope. This is not going to be... Oh, no, wait. Orton counters. Orton might have to take another risk, but he got caught. The big guy caught him. Backbreaker to Orton. Well, a nice attempt there for Randy Orton, but ultimately it amounts to nothing. And Ryback now firing himself up for yet another
Yet another second win, or perhaps the third win for Ryback in this matchup. Another back body drop. Looking for the spine buster. No, wait. Orton, the face buster. Ryback might have just broke his nose across the knee of Randy Orton. And now Randy. It's his turn to strike. He could be looking to go in for the kill. Now it's Ryback placed up on that top rope. This is not going to be good for the big guy. Randy Orton. Oh, we've seen this before. DDT off the top rope. We saw Randy use that to Rusev at Night of Champions. And now it could be the end for Ryback. 2. No! Ryback still kicks out, but only just barely. He didn't even have the strength in him to power out of that. Only just able to get the shoulder up. He didn't kick out. He just survived. But Randy Orton, he knows. One more big move. One more big shot is all he needs to finish Ryback off. But Ryback, well, just like that, back into this matchup with an emphatic spine buster. And now Randy trying to get to his feet. Ryback tried to powerbomb him, but again it's Orton who blocks it. And again Ryback into the corner. Randy Orton striking away. But now it's Ryback who counters. And now Ryback thrusting that shoulder straight into the gut of Randy Orton. Ryback, a headbutt, and again Orton staggered into the corner. Ryback's not done with him just yet. Once more, Randy placed up top. Now it's Ryback's turn to look for something huge off the top. Look at this. Fallaway slam. Randy Orton just got sent about the entirety across the ring. And Ryback again, sizing Orton up, looking for the meat hook clothesline. And he connects. No! Orton countered it. Orton with a power slam. The hook of the leg. 1, 2. No! Ryback's own momentum nearly cost him the match right there, but Ryback still survives. But how much more does he have left? Randy for the kill. No! Ryback able to block the RKO. Oh, and now Randy's in dire straits. Ryback marching around the ring. And shell-shocked. Good night, Viper. This matchup is over. That's checkmate. 1, 2, 3. What? What? Randy Orton, he's not done yet. Ryback can't believe it. How many times has Ryback beaten Randy with that very same move? How many opponents has Ryback beaten with that very same move? And Randy Orton just kicked out of it. Ryback to the second rope. I don't think he even knows what to do at this point. Just throwing himself at Randy Orton there. But Randy keeps getting up. Ryback again to the second rope. Another shoulder block. Randy Orton just will not die. Randy again trying to stumble back to his feet, but it's almost just a revolving door at this point. Randy Orton. I mean, you have to respect the performance from these two men tonight. The fact that these two men are still going after all this time while a meat hook clothesline. That's it. Good night. That one surely is going to finish Orton off. But Ryback, he just wants to put some insurance on top of it. To the top rope now. Ryback, how rarely does he fly from the top? Randy Orton, I don't think he knows where he is right now. Axe handle from Ryback. And this matchup, this is all but over. It's a foregone conclusion at this point. All Ryback needs to do is pick Orton up, hit him with another shell-shocked, and we've got this in the bag. But you have to admit that Randy Orton, he put up a hell of a fight, but there's no way he kicks out of a second one. 1, 2, 3, there you have it. You can't get any more definitive than that. Randy Orton, he wasn't strong enough to pick up the victory tonight. But, I mean, just look at this. Right from the get-go, Randy Orton, he brought his A game. That clothesline turning Ryback inside out. And the amount of punishment that both of these men had to endure in this matchup tonight, especially Randy Orton, coming in with a clear power disadvantage, and with throwing everything that he had at Ryback, not enough to put him away, getting put through the announce table, kicking out of a shell-shocked. You have to respect the performance that Randy Orton just displayed tonight. I mean, I thought that power slam right there could have been it. Ryback with all the momentum that he came at Orton with that meat hook clothesline, but only for Orton to counter it. But in the end, I guess I thought that the first shell shock would have done it, but it didn't. I've been proven wrong in the past, but one thing's for sure. This Ryback, he's a force to be reckoned with. He's perhaps one of the best in the WWE today. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed Battleground pay-per-view. Be sure to stay tuned for the next episode. And until next time, keep on YouTubing. So we managed to catch up with Paul Heyman just a few moments ago, and this was what he has to say. I sense a disturbing trend in some...
Randy Orton, I thought our match
I guess it's my responsibility.
Randy Orton, I thought our match several weeks back would have...
Yeah, Mathway's out.